During these ceremonies, was Satan, the devil, ever referred to?
He was called Lucifer.
What did they say about the devil, about Lucifer?
That killing the people made him happy.
Cats always fall victim. See right through your prism and send them to the dark. Saw mesmerized by the heart. Where them demons go. To everyone who you call bro, the call bro. That's why cats around me, you know. Y'all wanna put y'all in a box. Even insult the ZZ blocks. Calling cops on brothers just for talking to another. Mercy be upon all mothers. Praise y'all cause the devils can't touch us. But wanna say we bad or wrong? No. With your own words caught. You try and hide what you bought. With Judah, I'm nothing. Funny how nothing got their minds bugging. It's like you stole Christmas. But they mad cause you won't bear false witness. They duck, cut, and flip for the gymnast. Look how the Legion rule. Self-proclaimed cut paste fools. Wisdom say avoid fools. Cause if they don't listen, you the stooge. There's a difference between firm and niggerish. Firm rebuke is what the sentence is. Take it back to hip hop. Not oversized wooden flip flops. They falling down off the tip top. Rick Ross is better off on the beat like Primos. Yahweh's words, man, do we need those? They save souls. Snatch your mind out control. Stand bold and no foes. They geek out on no dose. And then miss your rest. They'll balance checks so the wicked get it even. Even distribution, let downs and bruising. Now your cleavers a heathen because he fell off what you're teaching. I'm chilled out like a seal beach. Enjoy the warm sun, not speaking, not preaching. Watch Allah do the reaching. Recover answers that you were seeking. Find your way home. Here's the beacon. See the light. See it. Word. Turn home. Yeah. Follow. A lot of cats out here traumatized. And these mind control. Always go. Yahweh fights. Praise those who have not. Don't be worried about what others got. Word. Look what he give you. Look at the wealth you have within. You know what I mean? He fills up your temple. Not any man. Listen, that's word. All praises to Yah, who is Allah. Woo! Head nod. Wait for the beat. Lobster Bell. Lobster Bell beat selection. Wait for the track.
Yeah, shalom, y'all. It's your boy Killer B, aka the Witchfinder General. You got a witch, I'll burn their asses up. What's going on, y'all? So, yeah, we got who we got here? A panel here. We got Brother Lamad. Oh wow,
shalom.
Yeah, we got Willie Grit. Well, Willie Grit.
What's going on, man?
All right. We got how you pronounce your name, brother?
Kalaya.
Say it again.
Kalaya.
Got Kalaya. Ben.
Wrong, fam.
Yup. And we got none other, the one, Chris Harris.
That's right. That's right. Shout out to the family out there.
Yeah. So yeah. Sorry about last night. I had some things to take care of and stuff. Yeah, so tonight's title, Israelite Camps. You make me sick. Man, there's always been a lot of foolery and stuff going on in the Israelite community. But I don't know, lately, man, oh man, all types of stuff is coming out of the woodwork. worse now. We thought 2018 was going to be bad for them, but damn, we just started 2019. Man, oh man. Yeah, it's been a lot of allegations putting on some of these like camp leaders and certain organizations and stuff like that, along with Judah Nazareth. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about that, about this, some of these current events and stuff that's been going on. So yeah, so how everybody's been doing?
Peaceful, man. I've been pretty peaceful, man. Like I said, I've been noticing just things with these camps, man, and I'm all like, yo, man, it's not even becoming a place for refuge anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming a place where people just go to fight and argue, and now they teaching like such bullshit, man. Go ahead, Willie, and everybody else introduce yourself, man, because this is getting sick, man. Real talk.
Yeah. Willie Grits, have you got a chance to see what was going on lately?
Nah, I didn't. What happened?
All right, so we get into it. Like, we'll let you know in a few minutes. Lamont, you said you was unaware of the stuff too.
Yeah, I was unaware until you told me recently, I guess in the past 30 minutes. Yeah, it's something heinous happened. So there was a murder that came up in one of those organizations, IUIC. And yeah, that's pretty disheartening. And I mean, this we've seen this stuff before. I mean, in the past with Jim Jones, it's just happening over again and another. It's just repackaged and happening over again. But yeah, I don't know too much about it, but this is pretty bad.
Yeah. Brother, have you been aware of all like these allegations and stuff with?
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about it, man. It's unfortunate for our people, man. Like Chris said, man, we don't even have a little sanctuary that we can go into and get some peace of mind and get some understanding without the bullshit. You know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. A sister lost her life, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's sad.
They up in these camps. They up in these camps learning about blood sacrifices and the blood of Jesus click. All this other nonsense that ain't found in the Torah. You're supposed to go into the Torah to find a place to rest your mind, right? That's supposed to be what betters you. It teaches you when you go into the land of your fucking captivity, you will worship the gods of other nations. Jesus is the God of this nation. You hear me on Solar Vision, telling everybody, ain't no human sacrifice in our book. No human sacrifice in the Torah, the law and the prophets. The prophets line up with the law. Then these motherfuckers, they keep teaching this bullshit, talking about some goddamn human sacrifice. Now look at what these motherfucking Rosicrucian Jesuits is doing. Excuse these horns right now, because I am at work. Look at what these damn Freemasonic, Rosicrucian Christians are doing. They sitting up there setting people up. These people are going into these camps being led like sheep to the slaughter. Psalms 44 all over again. What did we do wrong? What did we do wrong that we deserve this? And you know what the Christians will say? See, it's a human sacrifice. She was innocent. She didn't do nothing, but she died for the sins of her father. That's why I hope she had Jesus. But where was Jesus at when she got killed? Where was Jesus at? There ain't no Jesus. Jesus makes you a sucker. He didn't even exist. Then we got Torah onlys doing limelight twilight shows about a man named Yahushai, calling him the righteous Torah teacher. Okay, so apply that to this Yahushai guy. Where did it say in the Dead Sea Scrolls that Yahushua was the righteous Torah teacher? Where was he called that anywhere in the New Testament? He ain't supposed to be teaching that. It's the law, statutes, and commandments. Priests, prophets, and kings. Now look at her. She probably was all wrapped up in that shit. She had her head garb on, had her head covered. Beautiful sister.
Yup.
Now she gone for messing with these wild ass camp niggas. They can't even find her. They just know she gone. No, she gone.
No,
She
they
was with
found
that
it.
group. Oh, they found her.
Yeah, they just found it. Yeah.
Man, peace be upon that sister, man. You niggas is, and y'all niggas gonna go right out there and won't even go condemn. I ain't seen one video on IUIC condemning them yet.
Well,
But
they
y'all
will.
talking about the blood of Jesus.
Yup.
The blood of Jesus is here in the Torah. See? Now that sister's blood is on your hand.
And notice these is New Testament camps. These are, like Chris is saying, these are cats that's teaching the New Testament. You know, they make so much noise about us, so-called Tanakh only, but the New Testament camps is the ones that's been raising out of hell for the past few months. And it's interesting that, you know, we got these agents out here, we got these brothers out here pimping our people. They're just using JC and making them black, and then calling themselves a camp, and they still using and abusing our people. This is the land of our captivity, and if people don't wake up, man, it's gonna be more horrors and more things that's under the covers that's gonna get exposed, man, if we're not careful.
Yup. Absolutely. Yeah, man, it's sad, and like they didn't want to tell the woman or give the woman anything, like any kind of information, like what was going on or whatever. They had the woman on the news, like trying to call the people, and they weren't answering. But that's how it is there. Like, say, like if you leave the group, it's like leaving a job or getting fired at a job or whatever. Like, I mean, you already out the system.
Y'all know who Marcus Webb is? Y'all know who Marcus Webb is?
He's like a sports athlete, right?
No. He's like I think his name is Marcus Webb. But he was like an ex IUIC member, right?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Right. When he left the IUIC, what they started doing was they started saying like, well, you can't deal with this. They was telling people that he knew don't deal with him no more. He ain't in the truth. You get what I'm saying? They was threatening him. All because he left y'all punk ass camp.
Yeah.
GMS, all that shit. It's the same thing. Y'all just a bunch of gangster Christians.
Yep.
That's all y'all is. And then y'all wish curses on people, and when something like this happens, all of a sudden everybody's sitting there like, man, that's because she loves the truth. You brainwashed niggas.
Definitely brainwashed, man. Definitely brainwashed.
Like, all they do now is tell you that Jesus is black. Okay, guess what? We know the sun is black, and its light that comes off of it gives it light. Anthropomorphic. One more time, y'all still losing to me. Can't get around that. We know the sun is black, but we're not talking about a literal sun. We're talking about the S-U-N. I be asking them, hey man, what's gonna happen when Jesus come back? They be like, what you mean? How is he coming back? He's coming out the sky, like the Bible said. I said, then use a damn fool and made a force be with you, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm cussing today. Clyde don't like it when I cuss, but I'm cussing today. So y'all need to wake up. And sometimes I gotta talk to them with my hands balled up and tell them, man, wake the fuck up. Ain't no Jesus coming back for you. With 144,000 gangbangers shooting lasers out their eyes, flying around all around the goddamn world, killing white people. It's some of the most ridiculous shit I ever heard. You the sons of the Most High.
Yep.
But you so willing to snack on Jesus on the Passover, which is an abomination to the Most High. And I know, you know what? I'm going to be honest with y'all. I know damn well most of y'all ain't cooking no Passover meal on no damn Passover. I know y'all not. I know y'all not. Shut that shit up. Y'all celebrating Thanksgiving and everything else. I know you're not.
Yep. That's the truth.
You're commanded not to do that. Not to do that in the land of your captivity. Talking about this a new covenant. So he put your ass in, so the Most High done put you in captivity, right? Check it out, y'all. He done put you in captivity, and you under a new covenant. Well, I guess the captivity is your covenant then, right?
Oh,
That's sick in the head when the original covenant is the new covenant. He renewed it when he brought him home out of Babylon. He didn't have to grab him by the hands this time when he led him out of Egypt. They came out of Babylon. No, that's what it means. Y'all arguing over that, white people laughing at y'all. Excuse me, Willie, sorry, no harm intended. But they do be. They do be. Because most of them know it's allegory. It ain't just white people.
yeah.
Everybody knows Jesus is nothing but an anthropomorphic story of the procession of the sun during the winter solstice. I can explain that easy.
Don't the Hebrew, the Hindus, even they tribute to Jesus?
No, they have somebody named Hari Krishna.
But I thought they believed in Jesus also, like that he was like a real person.
You know what? They probably do. They probably do. Hell, Jesus done got the minds of everybody in the world. They probably do.
Yeah, man. It's just like these people join, like you said, like these people join these groups for like to have some peace of mind, like, and they just get like bombarded with a bunch of like fuckery, like, and next thing you know, like, and the lady's mother said, the girl's mother said that she said, "Mom, like, these is my family, these are my brothers and sisters," and how she was so happy. Said her whole life was that church, like she didn't hang out with nobody else except people in that church. So when she tried to get a hold of, find out where her daughter is, those are the only people that would know anything. And that was the last place she was seen. Like it was I don't know what holy day it was, but like there was some like festival or whatever at the church, and that was the last place she was seen. And I guess some guy they took him, arrested him, and I guess probably they let him go, and then they found, I guess, more evidence and they rearrested him. And the way his name sound, like they showed his Hebrew name like as a legal name. You know what I mean? Like IUIC, I was there when Nate was suggesting people to change their name legally to whatever Ben Israel. And that guy had his name changed recently. It said that in the article. And they showed his like real name, like his birth name or whatever, and it sounded African, like probably he was probably from Africa or something like that. Yeah, that's crazy, man. And like her daughter's missing, and she's asking people like, and nobody wanted to answer the phone. And now IUIC makes a statement now, like yesterday or like day before yesterday or something like that.
Yeah, just like a cult. Just like a cult.
Oh.
Just like the Church of Scientology, because y'all dealing with blood. So you got science. I don't know what even shit y'all got going on. I can't even pronounce it right now.
But I think she left, and maybe she might have like went to that, like, you know what I mean, that gathering or whatever. But like, I think supposedly somebody said that she left. She actually left after Bezaleel.
So she left her congregation and came up dead?
Yeah. That's what I heard, like through the internet. Like, yeah.
Wow. That is, man, I'm telling you,
but that's not the first time somebody said that.
What?
There was a girl in Florida or whatever that left, right? And next thing you know, there's some lady that's sitting like on the bench, like in front of her apartment building or whatever. Like she was always just sitting on the bench. And then like one day she started to talk to her because the woman was dressed like a Hebrew Israelite woman. So I guess she sparked up conversation, and the girl told her that she was an IUIC, but in another state. And it was, I forgot how the rest of the story went, but it was like some bugged out stuff, like they were stalking her. And there was another sister that was engaged to another brother that was in some other camp. I forgot the guy's name. The name of his camp. I think it's is it Thug or something like that? I think that might be the name of his camp or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
I heard of that camp.
Yeah, so his wife, or like the woman he was engaged to, was a member of IUIC. And I guess they married her off to like some nigga. And he like, nah, you my wife. And like went to the crib. They said like, allegedly, like they pulled her out of the house. She was coming out the house or whatever. And they like grabbed her and was like punching her in the legs and stuff. Like you coming with me, woman. Like on some shit like that.
Man, these cats is pimps, man. These cats, they pimps, man. And the sad part about it, these are the leaders in the communities.
Yep. Yep. And you know what the community be paying more attention to? Chris and Judah don't get along no more.
Yep.
They snitchy. But your sister lying in the grave now. Because she was following some people who she thought could lead her. Chris, you don't know the terms, You fucking niggas make me sick.
Oh.
And I'm the devil.
When I say y'all make me sick, man, y'all make me sick with a twisted stomach.
Yeah. That's a damn shame, man. That's a damn.
All you gotta start asking. Look, if y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all out there. If y'all know a Christian get ready to join one of these camps, all you got to do is ask them, is this a gathering? Are you a New Testament Christian? They're going to say, yeah, right? Because they're afraid of Jesus. The Romans wasn't afraid of him, but they are, right? Which is let you know that's a slave doctrine. All you got to do is say, are y'all the gathering of the 144,000? Some say New Testament Christians. And I'll bet you they'll shut right the fuck on up. And I'm sorry, I'm cussing today. Man, y'all gonna hear it, man.
Yeah, man. It's no shame, and they just do it like with a straight face. Like when my testimony, when that I think he's a cap, he got to be a captain or something. Mother Shem, we was teaching when I was in IUIC in the Bronx. It was hot as hell that day, and they had one of those stupid fasts, and it was hot. And I think somebody forgot to bring water or something. Well, this brother was screaming at people and just dropped like a sack, just dropped. And they used to see people and just insult them. Like, say, like if it's a Hindu person or whatever, right? And they'll just like start talking about like them, their culture and stuff like that, right? Like, leave that dude alone. Like, if he ain't in the truth anyway, so why you gotta like even say anything to him in the first place? So like, they had these ambulance drivers. The ambulance driver was a white lady and an Indian guy, and like they would be out there every Saturday. And they be listening to us and stuff. Like, they be parked like a little distance off, but they can hear us and stuff. So this brother dropped, and they just rolled up. Whoop, whoop, right? They put him in the back of the thing. All the brothers and stuff carried over to the ambulance, right? And they trying to get him to drink water. This dummy don't want to drink water. I see all of us out the ambulance. I look over. Nate ain't nowhere near us. And I'm like, what the hell? So I went over to him. I'm like, Ellen Nathaniel, could you please come over here and get this dummy to drink some water? He would just had those dark shades on. Now he wear those dark shades. My man was just looking up in the sun. I was close to it. This is close to it as I am from the screen right now. My man was looking up in the sun. Like, I wasn't even saying, like I wasn't even there.
But that's what they love, man. That's what our people love.
Oh,
They
I
love
couldn't
it.
believe it. I was in shock. I was lost for words. I couldn't even say anything. I just walked away. I was just lost for words.
And I'm going to tell y'all what it is. It's just like they say, to the Greeks, foolishness, to the Jews, a stumbling block. Telling you right there that the book is some bullshit. Not the Torah and the law and the prophets. I'm not saying that. Paul said yourself, Jesus is fake. It's fake. He didn't. Oh my God, dude! Don't y'all get it, man? Oh my God. Oh my goodness, dude. These people, man, our people, man, fall for anything, dude. They got y'all waiting on your hands and knees for a nigga to come up out the sky. Ask yourself a fucking question. All right, you know, I'm not gonna cuss. They got y'all waiting on your hands and knees, waiting for a man to come up out the sky. In which you read from a book that say Jesus is the Passover lamb, but yet they ate him the day after Passover. And they call him an atonement, but yet you still see the whole nation of Israel celebrating the Day of Atonement in Acts the 27th chapter, verse 9. You should see the Greek influence in that book. Right off rip. Right off rip.
What is it
Let me
called?
tell you.
Hellenistic thinking, boss.
Oh, that's right, Kalaya. And then the story of Jesus. Let me help y'all out. Since y'all think y'all know why I'm a debate champion. The story of Jesus and Judas ain't nothing but the story of the sun and the moon. When Judas kissed Jesus, that's the moon kissing the sun during what? The solar eclipse. Judas represents the moon. And in the wheel, he's the scorpion, because the scorpion stings you, and it's called a kiss. It leaves a wound similar to a kiss in the house of the zodiac. Go look it up if you think I'm lying. You ain't got a scholar out here in the Christian world that can beat me. I know he can't, because all you do is add conjecture. Kalai sat right there and listened to him run all day long the other day on the phone. They want you to believe. See, the white man gonna tell you, or some old crazy Christian, excuse me, I'm not gonna say white no more, because we got a brother on the phone. What's it called?
Nah, you can say it, right?
No, I don't like saying that, Willie. You know that. You cool with us. You John Brown. Shit, you'll help us out with need. I know you will. But here's what I'm saying. They'll tell you God don't love you because you don't love his son. They'll tell you this nonsense. But I'll be all like, man, fuck your son. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because God told me to love his son, which was the people of Israel. Exodus 4:22. Israel is the firstborn son. You got a problem? Look it up. And it said you're supposed to love your brother as you love yourself.
No.
Stop playing. I don't have to love no man named Jesus because he never existed. It's just that simple. And I'm tired of y'all. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you niggas. I'm just right there with it. I'm sick of y'all. This sister dead. When the feds is ready to come after you, IUIC, ain't nothing y'all gonna be able to do. They gonna shut y'all down.
Yeah.
Y'all all on the corner, marching up and down the street talking about don't eat some swine. But break the first commandment. That case, he got y'all marching in army cadences, in army single file lines, right? Doing army cadences. But guess what? He ain't gave y'all and taught y'all how to shoot one weapon or zero it. Now what sense does that make?
Yeah, right?
Y'all wouldn't even know how to take a corner. You wouldn't even know how to attack a hill.
You know that was my idea, right?
What, the army cadence?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Bring it up.
Well,
The Captain Sim. I don't know if he's still in there. I hope he left. but he was in the military, and he was teaching people to do it. Right in the class, like every Wednesday night, stuff like that. And if you mess up, you had to do push-ups.
Man, I was like, man, I wish I would do some push-ups because I forgot a Bible verse.
Right?
I'm like, man, you better go on somewhere. Remember, I told you I went to a couple of classes.
Yeah, man.
When I started picking that New Testament apart, I went to a couple of classes.
They don't
You
care
sit
if
in there,
you know or whatever. They just care if you know those scriptures.
and they tell you, but they give you a pamphlet of what to read and what to say.
Yeah. So
That's
all you gotta
I
do,
still have it.
yeah. Yep.
But the sad part about it is, man, that so what that you know you Israel? If you don't know how to live as Israel, it don't do you no good, man. You know what I'm saying? We got these cats in here teaching the Christ of the New Testament, but you got people dying, getting murdered in your congregation, and you won't even answer your phone? Where's the love?
Yeah. All that brother and aunt and all that crazy stuff.
But you know what? That's the attitude of the New Testament. All you got to do is read 2 John.
And let me say this while we live. Let me say this while we live, and this need to be said. Judah Nazareth, it is a fucking shame how talented you are, but you wasted on trolling. You wasted on trolling every single time. You waste your talent on trolling. The Most High gave you a portion, and you won't even use the gift.
Gave up.
You want to troll, just like I saw you in that chat room. You could have been on there, man. You could have been on there crushing them Christians yesterday in the law. Get your mind right. You can teach your little 3 degrees somewhere else. We're not worried about that. Get your mind right and apologize, brother. That would have been an easy victory for us, me, you, Killer B, and all of them winning. We would have been in the Dead Sea Scrolls crushing their asses. Hurting feelings yesterday. But no, I gotta be, me and Kalai gotta be in there by ourselves. All because of probably the most talented one ain't there right now. y'all ever watch some anime cartoons? Right? And the big boss ain't really the strongest one. It's always his right-hand man that's really the strongest one.
Oh, God.
You see what I'm saying? Like everybody knew Cobra Commander wasn't shit. Destro was the man. You get what I'm saying?
All right, I got you. Until Serpentor came.
And yeah. And then when Serpentor came, hey, that was it. That was it. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. Man, I got a clip from a member of, he was a member of the Bronx camp when I was there. His brother named Gadaliah. This was on the Washington he was a PMS member video. I guess he just playing the video through his channel. So this is it here.
Listen. Verily, I say unto you, oh my gosh. Yo, IUIC is now, oh my God, they're now telling all the congregants to sign a non-disclosure agreements. Are you kidding me? How is this possible?
You hear that?
Yep, repeat that. Let them hear that again.
Wait. No, IUIC is now, oh my God, they're now telling all the congregants to sign a non-disclosure agreements. Are you kidding me? How is this possible? ASAP last night just said, and this is why, listen, spread this. Make sure all IYC members see it. Because this is a great thing. What did Christ say to sign non-disclosure agreements? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, non-disclosure agreement. So that means for the people that don't know what that is, that's a contract saying that you cannot discuss any of the business that went on between your person and that organization. But anybody. Say you leave IUIC and somebody want to interview you about your experience or whatever. Nope. Sign a contract. That's what that is.
What you got to hide, man? That's
yeah. All they corruption.
Boy, they worse than the Christian church, bro.
Yeah.
On the whole,
they like slick Christians. Know what I mean? A bunch of niggas.
Man, that is sad. How can you attend the congregation and you got to go on contract saying you can't disclose nothing?
Yep.
So if the pastor slapped the hell out of somebody in the church, you can't say nothing.
Yep.
You know why? I'm going to tell y'all what this is called. It's called getting pimped.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me say this again. It's called getting pimped. Y'all being pimped. And I really want to cuss, but I'm a scale. Oh, it ain't even the Sabbath today. It's called getting pimped, bitch.
Yeah.
Y'all don't even see it. And you know what else is that called? It's called being some hoes.
And the sad part, where is the men in the congregation to say something? Somebody stand up and say something. You see
that's probably fakes.
What my boy Culture used to say, somebody stand up and say something.
Somebody say something. You know what? You can't say anything. You can't listen. You can't say anything, dog. You should. I know a cat, right? That's with the IUIC. He used to be with Pastor Dodell's crew over there, right? He used to be with them, but he left them, went from one camp to the next. So I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with these brothers. Are they looking for love? Are they looking for attention? Do they need somebody to hug them? You're going from one camp to the next. We called that back when I was in the Christian church, congregation jumping. You hopping all over from church to church.
Yeah.
So right. You know what I'm talking about, Kalai? So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You just put an Israelite twist on it now. It's the same thing.
Yep.
You're running from camp to camp.
Same thing, different label.
Look, talking about Christ Dracula, drinking his blood and all this other nonsense.
Hey.
Then y'all coming out with some false doctrine. You're being intellectually dishonest. You Christians, I'm sick of you. You're being intellectually dishonest every time you get a chance. Now somebody end up dead. Y'all like, man, I ain't saying nothing. I don't know who that was that got killed. I don't know nothing about that.
I ain't snitching.
I ain't snitching because you know why? Y'all into man worship. The IUIC sells posters of their elders. They sell posters of their elders and it got on there, our leadership tight. I'll march them elders in the debate. All they'll be reduced to by the time I'm done with them is slander and shame tactics and dodgeball, shuckle bucking, moonwalking.
They make deities of their elders.
Exactly. They done made deities out of their elders.
They got one of the brothers, they got the Most High, supposing that's the Christ of the New Testament, looking just like Brother Nate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now you tell me that's sick. That's sickening.
I said that when I left. This was like, well, shit, that was a long time ago, right? My first week, maybe second week there, right? It was a Saturday, it was a Friday, it was a Friday. I was walking, I called the brother, he called me. What's going on, bro? Whatever. I was like, yo, I got a question. He said, what is it, brother? I'm like, that picture of your Howard style y'all got posted. I was like, yo, why it look like Nate?
Oh shit.
It was like, it was just silence. It was just silence. It was silence. He was like, I don't understand. I'm like, bro, it looked like Nate.
You think he was posing like Mona Lisa?
Right? And then, like, he must have told them or something, because Bezalel came to me. Well, I might have asked him. I might have asked him too, because he did it, right? And he was like, "No, I took all the pictures of all the brothers, like I guess all the elders or whatever, and took traits from each one of them and stuff and made the image." Oh, nah, that looked like me. I don't care what she's talking about. That shit was dead like me. It looked dead like me. But let me play the rest of this clip here. Listen to what this brother got alive says.
Listen, why would you have to sign non-disclosure agreements? Why would you have to lawyer up? Why, if you are innocent, did Christ ever tell the disciples to sign non-disclosure agreements? Are you kidding me? Yo, this is madness. Since when in the truth do we have to sign non-disclosure agreements to hide sin? ASAP last night admitted that sister that got body slammed in Los Angeles, she needs to sue the police and needs to sue the brothers that assaulted her. And now you're telling the congregation to sign a non-disclosure agreement? Well, everyone air this shit out. Understand? Air it out. Because this is some great people going on in Israel. I'm in the middle of that investigation of Sister Joy in London's disappearance. If all of them start signing these non-disclosure disagreements, more evil people are going to be led to the slaughter and nothing will ever be found out. Y'all need to keep hearing these people out because this is some great evil. Look at all the brand and everything else. I don't care. Listen, Scripture says that the Most High God does not enjoy a multitude of unprofitable children. I don't care. Listen, y'all act like IOIC is the only one spreading the truth. Y'all act like we can't do this and we can't stand up for righteousness and do the same damn thing. You're talking about non-disclosure agreements because y'all wanna hide sin. I'm gonna tell you. So listen, and this is one of the reasons why IOIC and Nathaniel himself wanted to off me. The reason why is because these dudes
heard that, right?
Came from the top. One of the captains had told him, I'm gonna talk about it now because
off me, right?
Wow.
Yeah, he said they tried to off him. Listen.
Y'all know where I'm at, IOIC. Y'all know exactly where I live, so I'm ready for y'all. I'm ready. So come on, I'm telling you. So watch this. For the captains from up top, I heard this. I don't know why, but in IOIC, stuff used to always come at me, and me being brainwashed. Oh, charity thinking no evil. Charity thinking no evil. That's not what it's talking about. David, and you read all about the prophets all throughout the Bible, the spirit of discernment, and being able to foresee evil. That's not what it's talking about. Charity thinking no evil is talking about sin. The foolish thought, the thought of foolishness, which is sin. That's what it's talking about. That's what charity is.
Shit, all these camps do.
Stuff used to, for some reason, the Most High always used to make stuff come at me, and I would eavesdrop on things. And
you hear that? Same here. When I used to be printing those damn T-shirts, I be eavesdropping. Like you couldn't help it. They in the next room. Like there ain't no sound or radio playing. I just be hearing what they talking about, and the shit wasn't cool. The shit that I was hearing, shit wasn't cool.
I'm like, no. Charity thinking no evil. Charity thinking no evil. Check this out. Someone told me, coming down from the vine tree, that there was a captain that saw IYC's bank accounts. They would not disclose the exact number, but that bank account is so large that it will make your jaw drop. Your jaw drop. And another thing is that the way they're forming the money is that they put the money in different people's bank accounts so that the true number is never disclosed. And that's why the IRS must investigate them because the way they're funneling the money so it can't be traced. Now check this. I'm gonna talk about it. So a lot of these tactics that they do, they're gonna try to off anybody, and they do plots and set people up to kick them out, make them look evil, and kick them out of the congregation, so they lose all credibility. So watch this. Now they're telling people non-disclosure. Yes, definitely millions, and over that. They got that. The way Captain Yashua in Arizona, he knows about this stuff. He has a degree in accounting. The dude knows how to wash money. It's money laundering. So watch this. Now they're telling everybody to sign non-disclosure agreements because that sister that got body slammed, her mom is a top lawyer. She defends celebrities. So they know they're coming down on that ass. And she needs to sue that ass. And she needs to sue the whole congregation. You telling the congregation to sign non-disclosure agreements? Are you kidding me? Where is the justice? Where is the brotherly love? Where is the charity?
Please, Brother Arrow.
I was called the Judas Iscariot, and I betrayed the congregation. No, I betrayed y'all niggas that are hiding.
What's up? This was
I am not loyal to that. I am loyal to Christ. I ain't loyal to y'all niggas. Yeah, that's the real deal. Some drug dealer.
Witchfinder General, like and subscribe. Hit that like button.
See, this is the proof that these are the very Pharisees of old time. Because ain't nobody going to be the movement. Non-disclosure, this is some Church of Scientology cult crap. This is what they do. You're taking tactics from the Church of Scientology now? Are you kidding me? What scripture is this? Yo, share this. I'm going to be making a video soon about the whole situation, about Sister Joy. Listen, I am proclaiming a nationwide fast for Sister Joy for this Sabbath. Start preparing yourself. I am proclaiming a nationwide fast for this sister that the truth come out. This is some Judges, the book of Judges type crap. And the book of Judges.
That's enough there. But like, yeah, man, it's hear that shit? Sisters getting body slammed.
Hey, like they be all like, hey girl, you ain't read that scripture right. Yeah. All praises to Yahweh Shai. See how religion makes you?
Yup. And they say we don't got religion. Yeah, right. Y'all got it more than regular Christians do. Christians don't get your ass down like that.
Yahweh Shai. It's all about Yahweh. He coming back out the sky. And he gonna give us our kingdom back. Yahweh Shai. Y'all some suckers.
Yeah,
y'all are a bunch of suckers.
Y'all bunch of little barrels.
I watched one yesterday.
Hey, my man said they on there money laundering, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
He told. We like shit.
It's the Holy Spirit. It's that so-called Holy Spirit y'all running around telling everybody, Yahweh gave you. It's the Holy Spirit, huh?
Yep. You got a bunch of little barrels.
Damn devils. Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai. He here. It's Yahweh Shai.
You know, I watched a video the other day with some brothers. I think they're from ICIK or ICUK or something like that. And they was on the streets talking, and then the brother was talking about how Yahweh was going to come back, and it was going to, have all the nations bow down to them, and it was going to have streets of gold, and we will have so much gold, and people are going to be. And I'm like, man, what kind of fairy tale shit is y'all still listening to? What the hell would you do with streets of gold right now? That's not even functional, first of all. I mean,
well, if they had streets of gold, they'll still be killing women.
Yeah, it's not even, what I'm saying? Shit is not even practical in today. Nobody carries gold in their house. It's currency like that is. I was like, man, y'all got to be kidding me. And then when a brother came up and was talking to them about El and the first Canaanite god, and then how El and Yahweh is like two different gods or something like that. The brother was like, why are you over here? Why are you coming over here trying to teach us? You trying to teach a whole bunch of grown men? And I'm like, dude, that's why you outside. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, out of my mouth.
Yeah, if you gonna be outside in the public, it's just like anything else. If you post something and it's public, then you take the risk of getting challenged.
Yeah.
Or at least added to. The brother got mad. Like, see, that's what happens. Yahweh came by and he brought the brother over to learn, but he didn't want to learn because he didn't have understanding. And that is a Yara top phrase right there. You don't understand.
Yep.
You don't understand. I'm like, damn, how can y'all be reading the same book and only you have understanding? Like,
well, actually, Sakari is doing a show right now talking about the murder of Sister Joy Morgan. So guess what? Shout out to the Sakari. At least they trying to hunker down on them motherfuckers for doing what they done did. Shout out to Alizar.
Yeah.
Y'all run around talking about y'all coming out the sky. You religious zealots.
I wonder what happens in all of these Israelite groups when somebody died. How they go in the grave.
Man.
Everybody don't speak at once.
Hey, y'all, we gonna come out of the graves. How was y'all gonna call us and we gonna come up out of the graves?
Didn't it already happen?
We gonna remanifest. No, yeah, right. It's supposed to be Night of the Living Dead happen in Matthew 27, but they don't like bringing that up.
Yeah, ain't that supposed to already happen? They gonna do it again?
Mm-hmm. So them people came out of the graves,
walking around,
scared the shit out of everybody, and then another 80 or 70 years they died after that again. Yeah, right. Like, so now they gotta face the judgment 3 times. So now you gotta understand what the resurrection really was. See, the resurrection wasn't never talking about you coming out no grave. The resurrection was talking about you being dead. Like, we dead now, so we have to be resurrected. Why would I want to come back here? I'm like, man, don't bring me back here. This is a raw deal. Definitely don't bring me back here.
Yeah. They said the biggest trick was Lazarus. They say Jesus brought Lazarus back from the dead only for his ass to die again.
That story was taken. I mean, you know what? I'm about to bust their ass right quick. I don't even care. I got my notes right here in my phone. I'm on y'all asses tonight. Let's go into that Lazarus story. All right? Let's go into this Lazarus story. And I'm going to show y'all what they did. All right? Okay, here it is. All right, I'm going to go to, where's them notes at? All right, check this out. These are some of my notes I wrote here. I want to share this with y'all, and I'm going to show y'all that story is plagiarized out of the book of John. The book of John was copied. I'm going to watch this. Okay, I'm going to show y'all how much I go in depth on this shit. Most are familiar with the story of Jesus raising the dead. We just talking about that. As in the account of John chapter 11 with Lazarus. As we read into this chapter, Jesus confirms the death. So Jesus then said to them plainly, Lazarus is dead. That's John chapter 11, verse 14. Afterwards, Jesus goes to the tomb of Lazarus, and I stress tomb. It's a tomb. I didn't know Israelites were buried in tombs. Let's continue. So Jesus, again, being deeply moved within, came to the tomb. Now it was a cave. And a stone was lying against it. It's John chapter 11, verse 38. After going to the tomb of Lazarus and praying, Jesus makes the most peculiar statement to resurrect Lazarus. Watch this. He cried out with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. John chapter 11, verse 43. So I write, Lazarus, come forth. Does this not sound strikingly comedic in nature? Come on, Haru, wake your ass up. What you here for?
Dude, hey, I'm listening to you. Shit.
Okay, cool.
You got
Lazarus.
I'm listening to you.
Okay, Lazarus, come forth. Does this not sound strikingly comedic in nature? More on that in a bit. I put that because I was going to debate somebody and it's coming out on my notes. The subsequent verse is what convinced me that this Jesus story is a hack and copied like most of the so-called miracles in the so-called New Testament. It was copied from comedic theosophy. I'm going to prove. The man who died came forth bound hand and foot with wrappings, and his face was wrapped around with a cloth.
Lazarus.
A mummy, Lazarus. That's right. Watch this. The man who had died came forth bound hand and foot with wrappings, and his face was wrapped around with a cloth. Jesus said to them, the cloth, unbind him and let him go. This is John chapter 11, verse 44. Does this not sound like Jesus just resurrected a mummified man wrapped in Egyptian-style linens from a tomb? You ain't convinced yet?
Yep.
You ain't convinced yet? Let's
Read.
dissect this a bit further.
Read.
Kemetic kings were always equated to Haru or Horus, the son of Osiris, born by the Holy Spirit of his father through the virgin Auset, which is known as Isis. Asar was killed as a sacrifice to the world, but was resurrected to judge all men in the afterlife. Does this not sound familiar? No man come to the Father except through me. Let's find out. The way Asar was resurrected was by way of his son, Haru. Let me read this again. The way Asar was resurrected by the way of his son, Haru. Haru would proclaim in a loud voice, Asar, come forth, as it is written in the pyramid text, as well as verified by Egyptologist Gerald Massey in ancient Egypt, Light of the World, who was a known Christian. If you recall, Jesus said, Lazarus, come forth. In the Semitic language, this took me some time, check it out. In the Semitic language, Lazarus translates to El Azar, as reported by Massey. I had to put that in print. You got to cite your source, which means the god Asar. Asar, Azar, Asar, Azar, Asar, Azar. You see? Let's continue. Therefore, this account in John 11, verse 43 of Jesus is him essentially saying, Asar, come forth. This is where it gets good. Now, the word Lazarus is thinly disguised El, that's with an L, Asar. Asar is the real name of Osiris in Egyptian. El just means the, as in the modern French, or he, or El as in God. El Asar, the god Asar. Let's continue. Another far too coincident similarity is the fact that Jesus started his ministry about 30 years old. This was Luke chapter 3, verse 23. I was about to bust O'Reilly's ass. He was going to be crying when I was done with him. Haru was always 30 years old when he resurrected. Haru was already 30 years old when he resurrected Asar according to Kemetic texts. Then we have the mothers. Jesus' mother and close friend had the same name, Mary and Mary. Mary was a common name in Kemet. And that was a common name in Kemet or Egypt that meant beloved, which was added to certain names. In particular, it was the name given to Auset, which means Marie Auset, the mother of Haru and the wife of Asar. This is why the land of Egypt, or Kemet, was called the land of Tamari, the beloved land. This is why when the angel came to Mary, the angel said, what? You are greatly beloved. Therefore, you shall conceive. Got you again, Christians.
Damn.
Read.
Hey, I got a question for you, Chris.
Go on here, brother.
Where did JC get them breasts from that he got in Revelation 1:13?
We used to always say that at the Torah nights, didn't we, Killer B? We used to always say that.
Man.
Them paps.
Girded with paps.
Man. Yeah, man.
Hey, peace. What's going on? What's going on to the gods and the god killers? What's going on with y'all?
What up?
What's going on, kid?
Okay.
Ain't not too much.
Hold on. Now I want to cite my sources real quick. Okay, for all you Christians that give out all that misinformation on solar vision because you want to keep your blood sacrifice, you could go to the pyramid text, 307-483 W212. Right? And I want to read this. I want to read this to you all. Let me see where if I got notes all over the place. I got notes for days.
Hey, Chris, man, it sounded like you're not an Israelite, bro. Like you're some kind of Egyptian Kemetic.
Hey, man, don't get mad at me because I know good information, man. You know, I was gonna bust so real's ass with this shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, anybody that hears my information gonna go like this. Well, we know he ain't lying, so we gonna have to dodge this question. You see what I'm saying?
Which find the general? Like, share, subscribe. Which find the general? Like,
You're
share,
saying it
subscribe.
wrong. You're saying it wrong. You're saying it wrong. You gotta like, which find a general, like, share, and subscribe. Which find a general, which find a general, which find a general.
Oh man, that's
Hey
funny,
man, Q,
man.
tell it. Look. Oh my God, I forgot who done came in the motherfucking building. Y'all prepare y'all ears for the deadliest motherfucker on earth, the ungodly one. Oh
Hey,
man, y'all, the godless wonder himself. You
hey,
Christians and religious zealots better flee for
hey,
your motherfucking
hey,
life.
hey, listen, man. I was talking to Orthodox Moore, and he told me, he said, man, you gotta add a little flavor to your name. So I was going by outside the cube. So now he said I should change it to outside the cube, the black atheist. But now Chris is adding an addendum to that. So now I have to go by outside the cube, the black atheist, the ungodly one. So
No. I keep telling you, call yourself the godless boy wonder. You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, I'm telling you, boy, they'll hate your guts.
But no, I kind of like the first one, though. Outside the cube, the black atheist, the godless one. I kind of like that though. The godless boy wonder. Yes, I'm gonna make one of them stick because
Yeah.
Unc got the real black atheist, and it would be
Oh,
funny.
let me cite this real quick, Q,
Yeah.
for a
Go ahead.
minute.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
So, in the Bible, in John chapter 11, which was completely ripped away from the story, the resurrection of Asar and the calling forth from his son Eru, right? It says right here in the pyramid text, it says, I am the Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and whose birth from the house of death. This is in pyramid text 64. And this is what it reads in John chapter 11, verse 25. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall live. It's the same thing. I'm going to continue to bust y'all ass. We're going to go to pyramid text.
Where's the parable? I don't see the connection, Chris.
I know, right? It's not there.
I don't see it.
Let's continue on. We're going to go next. We're going to go to pyramid text 667a. And this is what it reads. As for the mourning women of Osiris, they call for thee. Isis weeps for thee. Nephthys calls for thee. Now remember, Isis is Aset and Nephthys is her sister, right? This is the two Marys. Now we go right here into John chapter 11, verse 28 and 33. And when she had so said, she went her way and called Mary her sister secretly, saying, the master is come and calleth for thee. When Jesus therefore saw them weeping. I'm on y'all last. I'm on y'all last. Let's continue. I got a little bit more. OYA. Look, I got two more, and I'm going to say the rest for a debate. Yahweh Ben Nazareth, I'm calling you out that the book of John is fake. Prove me wrong. You're not a scholar. You're a false prophet. And I'm going to bust your ass live on. So I'm going to tear you down like I did one brother on Debate Talk for You Radio. You on my aim, boy. You on my sights, boy. Let's get it. All right. Now, this is what it says in Pyramid Text 676. Okay. Which is an original text, by the way. It's called the Pyramid Text because they took them right out of the tomb. Let's continue on. It said, the tomb is open for thee. The double doors of the coffin are undone for thee. Pyramid Text 676. The flesh of Osiris rot not, or Asar rot not. Decay not. Let not thy smell be bad. Pyramid Text 412. Horus has exterminated the evil which was in Asar in his 4-day death, or his 4-day term. Pyramid Text 419. Here go where I bust your ass, Christians. Therefore, Jesus, again, groaning in himself to come to the grave, it was a cave, and a stone lay upon it. Jesus said, take ye away the stone. Martha, the sister, said of him that was dead, saith unto him, Lord, by this time he stink. Uh-oh. That's a direct plagiarism. This time he stink. For he hath been dead 4 days. I'm sick of you niggas.
Sick of you.
Sick of you niggas.
Sick of you.
I got one more.
You know you done fucked up, right? You ain't fucked up.
I got one more. And it says, I am a sorter. This is period. I'm gonna read it. I am Horus, a sorter. I will not let you sicken. Come forth, awake. I will avenge you. This is Pyramid Text 620. Let them who are in their graves arise. Let them undo their bandages. Pyramid Text 622. Osiris, live, thou shalt not die. Horus comes to you. He separates thy bandages. He casts off thy bonds. Pyramid Text 703. They piecing this story together as they go. Watch this. And when thus he had spoken, he cried out with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was bound with a napkin. Jesus said unto him, loose him and let him go. Y'all are finished right there. You are done today. You are done today. You are done today. Why God? Why y'all God? Why y'all God got the same story as the God of Egypt? Why he got the same story? God damn it, I'm getting off. We going on the ungodly hour. Let's get him Cube. Let's get him Cube, baby. We going on Cube. Matter of fact, I'm going to do the full presentation on Cube show. Nah. Why not, Cube? Why not? I'm asking why y'all God got the same story. Why y'all God got the same story as the one in Egypt?
Let me ask you this, Cube. We already on here tonight, so we could link up tomorrow. Like, are you available at noon tomorrow?
Yeah.
Chris, you available too?
Hell yeah, I'm off for the rest of the weekend.
All right, so yeah, we already on here tonight. I wouldn't want to stop this train just to start another one. So we can link up tomorrow at noon. You know, my daughter will be at school. You know what I'm saying? It'll be the perfect time. We can get in like a good 2 hours of good shit, and you know the Israelites will be awakened. Damn, is somebody farting in the background or what?
Praying to Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah. He coming back.
Yahweh Shah, and any other one of them. Yo, man, y'all crazy. Hey, see, you know what, Chris? That's why we gotta start. We gotta make this a weekly thing that we do, because you have the information and I have the questions. I have the questions that make niggas think, and you have the questions that make niggas dumb.
Or make them duck. Like yeah, right. Watch out now, he's shooting. He firing off shots. I want to get out, boy. Look, that Yara Ben Nazareth, man, that dude a phony. He's phony. Shooting. I gotta call him like it is.
He's shooting. Oh, made you look. You're a slave to a rhyme. You're a slave to my rhyme book. I forgot how that
You a slave to a page in my rhyme book.
Yeah, that's how you go. You're a slave to a page in my rhyme book. That old Nas, yeah.
And for real. The God, Nas, the God. Killing him with the pen.
Godson. Hey, yo, Killer, man. How does Nails get a wrench and I ain't got one? Come on, pimp. Like, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. No, I'm just joking. I'm really just joking about that.
I'm Sister Ann, bro. I'm Sister Ann in the chat room.
Hey, but hey, Nails, if you're listening, you might turn into an atheist after a while if you keep listening to this. I hope you know that, because you know.
You say you might not be an atheist, but you damn sure gonna be a skeptic when I'm done with the godless one. Goddamn it! You need to put a picture of Spawn up there. For real.
Listen, that's why I wanted to cross the line tonight with what is it? Tazariak. That's why I wanted to cross the line tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Tazariak and his minion.
I wanted to put the screws in that nigga tonight. You know what I'm saying? I fucked around, you know, got off a little bit too late, but I wanted to put the screws in that nigga tonight. You know what I'm saying? But you know.
Oh, you went on there tonight? You went on there?
No. I was supposed to go, but I got off work a little bit too late. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't really get in, but you know.
Hey, y'all, I'm finna walk through this one part. Let me mute out for a minute. Hey, Christians, y'all just died today in 12 minutes. Book of John, we gave We gave it back to the Egyptians. Stop stealing their texts. Stop
Well,
stealing their shit.
well, let me respond to Nels. Well, you don't think we came from apes, but the problem with that is, if we paid you to think, you'd be poor as fuck. But nah, that's not that's not the question here. You don't have to think we came from apes, but it's a fact. You don't have to think that the sun is coming up tomorrow, but it
So
is a
where did the ape
fact.
come from?
Say what?
Where the ape come from?
Say that one more time. I missed it.
What did the ape come from?
Where did the ape come from? Well, when you're going that far up, you're essentially talking about, you know, uh,
What you want to say now? I wasn't gonna come in,
speak.
but since you want to joke, yeah, that's
Hold
funny.
on, wait, wait,
No,
wait,
no,
wait,
no,
no, no.
no, no,
Hold
no,
on, let me
no,
answer the
no,
question.
no.
Hold on, wait, 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 wait. I'm gonna answer the
No,
question.
that
No, no,
joke was
no.
as old as that used Q-tip that you try to recycle all the time.
Here we go. Here we go. Nah, I'm gonna deal with you. But nah, but but nah. When you talk about where the ape come from, it's kind of a fallacious question, to be honest with you, because
Nah, I didn't ask
Come
the
on, man.
question.
You
I
just
no,
didn't ask
no,
the
where nigga
question.
come from.
no, no, no. I was answering. No, I was answering somebody else's question.
You gonna
Nils.
answer mine.
That's
I
what
ain't
that's what
nobody
I'm telling. But that's what I'm telling her. I'm telling her that I was answering someone else's question because she think I'm ducking her, and I'm telling her I'm answering someone else's question. So
Mm-hmm.
to the Witchfinder General, what I'm telling you is, when you ask where the eight come from,
Mm-hmm.
what you're actually doing is you're really asking a different question than what you think you are. But just to humor you, when you ask where the eight come from, the eight comes from what we would call a fish-like animal.
You said a fish-like animal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And just to add on to that, I'm just gonna throw this out there. What did
Mm-hmm.
a giraffe come from?
Same thing.
Okay. Now.
Well, let me, if I can explain for a second.
No. Like you answer the question. That's the answer I expected.
Okay, go ahead. I see where this is going, because usually when we talk about evolution, I don't get a chance to talk. That's why when I have an actual debate about evolution, I've never lost one. But
Now,
go ahead.
you could say in the scriptures also speak of a type of evolution. Like you said, it comes from a fish. And what did a fish come from?
A fish came from a single cell organism.
There you go. So with that, why would we have to come from an ape? Why couldn't we come from a single cell organism? If the giraffe did and all these other things did.
Well, that question was
I
not.
totally don't believe, and Hebrew Israelites don't believe that shit either. That
Well,
we like propped up like
hold on. Well, hold on 1 second. The question wasn't really intelligible, so can you like ask it again? Because I really didn't get it.
If you say an ape
Mm-hmm.
came from a fish and a giraffe came from a fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you broke that down further when I asked, and you said it came from a single cell organism.
Right.
Right? Out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I agree totally. But my only issue is, why would you say that humans came from an ape? And they could have came from the, because you I should have used another example besides giraffe. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's why it was a little bit, unintelligible. But yeah, go ahead.
But I'm saying, we about to see that shit now. But what I'm saying is, why can't you classify humans coming from a single cell organism? Just like how an ape did.
Well, actually, you can, brother. actually,
the scriptures say that also.
Say what?
The scriptures would back that up also.
How so?
That we came from a single cell organism.
Witchfinder General, like and subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. I
how?
do a lesson on that.
Well. See, let me.
The fish and the birds was created before everything else.
All right. Well, let me try to explain what I was trying to say, which would probably give you a little bit of an insight because when you're dealing with biology, it's very specific. Now, when you're talking and you're saying like a giraffe or apes or any of these other different animals that you mentioned, they do all originate from one spot. So we are, as humans, we are a part of like there's three kingdoms. There's bacteria, archaea, and eukaryota.
All right.
So everything that has a eukaryote all spawn from the same exact spot, and there's no way around it. Like there's scientifically, literally no way around it. There's no way to get around it. So bacteria is not eukaryota the same way archaea is not eukaryota, but when it comes to what you would call animals, we are eukaryotes, and we are.
English. Like I don't know. Like you just throw words around to me. Like you might as well be speaking Japanese, but you're the Nazareth. So that shit. I'm sure nobody else knows what the fuck you talking about either. So like we don't got no proof to even back your ass up. We just don't.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me break it down to you like this: eukaryotes, they have they're organisms whose cells, and this is just the definition of it. Eukaryotes are organisms who have cells that have a nucleus enclosed within a membrane. So you don't find bacteria.
Get to the point.
Well, the point, but
you don't even need to know that shit. You can simplify that shit and make you.
Well, hold on. The point that I'm trying to make is whether you have a giraffe or a seal or a human being, we all are organisms who have cells that are enclosed with a nucleus in membranes versus archaea and bacteria, which don't have those same things. So we can't be connected to them. So when you look at every single animal that's on the planet today, we have eukaryotes within our body, and we are, in fact, eukaryotes as well. Does that make sense to you?
No.
I know it doesn't. And that's why people must study a little bit.
Anybody else know what he's talking about?
Well, I had a conversation with Cube on this before, and I think
what the hell was that?
Witch Finder General. People getting murdered on the streets right now, man. Witch Finder General. A witch just got burnt up live on Witch Finder General, y'all. People yelling, tossing cookies out the cookie jar and everything on here, man.
You know what he's talking about, Brother Heru?
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. Me and Cube had a discussion. Actually, it was just me and Cube. That one night we had a discussion about this, and the question I pose is that we say that the apes and man, we call modern man right now, are cousins because they share a large majority percentage of DNA sequence. Some say it's 98. Then some people say it went down less than 95. But regardless, it's a majority amount. My question when I was talking to him before is when we start talking about the evolution and man coming from ape, we see that ape has continued to go on a certain path where they have not evolved since that time where man and ape split, right? And we know that there's a differentiation in at least 2%, we'll say 0.2% or 4.5% in DNA. My question is there proof that it wasn't that ape is the de-evolution and man continued on? Because because it's the point where it shows that there was a split somewhere, right?
Well, that's
so where is that? So where is that? Where is that?
Well, let me say this first. When you say something,
I don't know that much about biology or something, but I would figure any four-legged animal that walk on all fours will have some DNA that's related.
Well,
see,
you're talking about
I don't really know too much about that stuff. I don't. I'm
Well,
not.
well
Talking
see,
about the devolving of it,
devolution.
but
She
Hold on.
said
What you say, Sister Amber?
devolution.
you're talking about the devolution, the devolvement of it. But how can it be a devolve when they have 24 pairs of chromosomes and we have 23?
Oh, you talking
Well,
about me,
see,
sister?
well, I think she.
Anybody.
Yeah, I want to respond to that because that's actually what I was going to point out. And when you're talking about devolution, that's something that's not really true, because that really doesn't even exist. We've never seen or experienced or even witnessed anything devolve, because in order to devolve, that would mean one thing would have to change into another thing,
We're
and then that's
witnessing that right now.
well, actually, we're not. Do you have any evidence of anything devolving?
Right, I'm talking to it right now.
Okay.
Can I interject something?
Go, Grits.
Well, hold on. Hold on.
So,
Let me get to my point real quick before I forget.
God dang.
I got it.
Yeah, let me get to my point. So now, devolution is garbage. It's not real. It is a word, but it's garbage. It's not even real. But when we're talking about like the sister just said, humans have 23 chromosomes and apes have 24. The biggest
Which final general? Which final general?
Everybody all right? I hope nobody got knocked out.
He busted in the head with bottles.
the problem
With one bottle.
the problem that
That's right. You're binding them up.
the problem
Stretching them out.
the problem that a lot of people don't understand is when you're talking about biology, and especially when you're talking about dealing with chromosomes,
Hit them with laser guns.
especially when you're talking about chromosomes, the reason that we have 23 and they have 24 is because we actually have a set. We actually have a set of chromosomes that's actually fused together, which would have been our 24th chromosome that actually fused with one of our other chromosomes. So you could look at certain things and what you making some grits? What you making some grits or something?
Hey, Cube, I got a question for you, bro.
Yeah. I just wanted to just finish off like two more sentences real quick, and I'll be done. So, what happens a lot of time is that we don't understand evolution, and we don't understand the human genome, because we can actually see 23 chromosomes and 24 chromosomes in the apes, and we can actually see that 23rd chromosome has actually been fused. We could actually see the reason we don't have it that 20. The reason.
All right, y'all, let him talk. Let you finish, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let him talk.
The reason we don't, the reason we don't have that 24th chromosome is because it was actually fused. And if you put all 23 chromosomes next to all 24 chromosomes next to an ape and next to a human, you would actually see the 24th chromosome being fused. So, and just to end off with this, there's specific markers that are in apes to where they have a extreme bite force that we don't have, and that's a gene that we actually have, but it's been turned off in us, that we can no longer use that same bite force because it's a gene. The same way that you may have brown eyes, or that you may have be 6 feet tall, or that you may have or be short. These are genes that are being turned on and off. You see what I'm saying, through mutations. So that's really how it goes. But go ahead, brother. What's your question?
No, I'm sorry, Willie Grits. Go ahead, brother. I didn't mean to cut you. Go ahead, brother.
Grits.
He's stirring up his grits. Hey, I just wanted
Go ahead. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, my fault. So, would you count it?
Yeah, you breaking up, bro. Did you fall out?
This closer to pigs?
Yeah, you might have to get on your Wi-Fi or something, bro. Yeah, you might have to get on your Wi-Fi and come back. I think you had a good question though. It started off well. To the other brother that
All
said
right,
something, did you have a question?
goddamn camps. Fuck all that shit. Anyway, we ain't come from goddamn monkeys, but back to these fucking camps and shit, right? So
Yeah, that's what I actually wanted to talk about. To be honest with you, is the camps because with that young woman that was killed in the UK, I wanted to ask all the God believers, why did God allow that woman to die when she was a parishioner and she loved God and she was a follower of God? So why would God do that to her, or not do it to her, but allow it to happen to her? Because that story really.
You're asking us.
Can somebody explain for the people who don't know what happened?
You died from sin.
No, with the girl.
Supposedly the last place she was seen in February, she was seen at IUIC. The sister, I guess, left IUIC and has never been seen again until recently they found her body. I don't know what kind of condition or where at or anything like that, but supposedly there was a person that was a member of IUIC
who killed her,
arrested, and he was let go, and then he was rearrested and charged with murder. So
see, like that's kind of. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And the mother, he did like TV interviews and stuff like that. This happened in the UK, and when she first noticed she was missing, she was contacting the church, and nobody would ever get back to her. Even the members, I guess, and stuff like that, they all didn't answer. And supposedly there was some kind of thing not to talk to anybody about the situation. And now, since they found the body and that person has been arrested, now they finally put out a statement. Believe them saying like that person or whatever has nothing to do with IUIC or whatever, or anybody else that leaves the church and stuff doesn't have nothing to do with IUIC.
And I want to say something. My questions are not directed at the Hebrew Israelite movement or anything. My questions are directly directed at God and people who believe in him, her, or it. So my first question, now that we have a backstory on it, why would God, if we have this omniscient and omnipotent God, why would he sit back and watch this woman get strangled, beaten, and tortured to her death and not do anything about it?
Who are you asking?
I'm asking God believers, as I stated on the outset.
Are you asking anybody on this panel?
Weren't you a Hebrew Israelite once?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Yes, I was. Yes.
Okay. What would be your answer? I don't know if you was a member of a camp or anything like that, or some type of school.
Yeah, but I don't want to rehash. What I would have said or what I would have thought. I want to actually ask the God believers today. Because
okay. All right. I got you. I got you.
From
the reason I asked that is usually taught. Well, sin, you die from sin. So everybody died from sin.
Yeah, but we know that to be bullshit for the most part, because what I'm saying is, but hold on, I want to be.
That's according to. I mean, church is right, but so.
Yeah, but I want to be more direct. And the question I'm asking is, if there is this omniscient God, which is all knowing, and this omnipotent God, which is all powerful, why would he let, and even not even let, but just allow this sister to die in the fashion that he did? And if he is hold on, I'm not done. If this God is omniscient, that means that he knew from the beginning of existence that she was going to die violently the way that she did. So my question is to you because I've never spoken to God, and you probably have never spoken to God. So if you have ever spoken to God, and I would like you to ask him this question: why would He allow this to happen to this sister that did nothing to no one? She was a parishioner of Him. She never did nothing to
For one, it's
nobody.
none of our business.
I'm sorry.
For one, it's none of our business.
So we should, so when people die around us,
Like,
so let me ask,
the main reason, like that don't have nothing to do with it. If He's the creator, we're the people. Like, we're His creation.
so and
According to the Israelite doctrine.
well, let me ask you a question. I find it dishonest because as a human being,
to the scripture.
But hold on.
I'm not going outside of that.
Well, that's fine. That's
So
fine.
You're asking me to go outside to get a source outside
No,
of
I'm not.
religion or the so-called doctrine or
No,
whatever
I'm not.
to give you an answer. Because so that's like how you said the question I asked, right? About with the monkeys and all that shit, right? It's the same type of thing you're asking, but actually it's even crazier because you are the Hebrew Israelite, you know the scriptures, you know what they said. So the statement that you're making doesn't make sense. It's an ignorant question.
Well,
but
ignorant.
You know the answer, but you know the answer, and you're asking it. But you're asking a Christian, or you're asking a person in that faith.
Well, of course, my question is ignorant because, when you're talking about ignorance, you talk about without knowledge. So, of course, my questions are ignorant, and that's why I ask these questions, not to down you or to hurt you, but to know.
So when I gave you the answer, why wasn't that good enough? But you wanted me to go outside of the book.
Well, first you got to hear me out, brother, because you said my question was ignorant, and I'm agreeing with you.
No, you asked the question, and I started to answer it. That was the question, right?
Brother, hear me out. If I don't
long-winded, you ain't got all goddamn night.
No. I'm not gonna be long-winded. If you're telling me I'm ignorant of something, you're just saying what you're saying is I don't know, and I agree with you. I don't know.
You do know though, but you do know. Like,
brother,
I said it's an ignorant question. Not saying you're ignorant, but it's an ignorant question.
No, brother, I am. No, brother,
you know the answer.
No, brother, I am ignorant, brother. I do not know why God allowed and sat back and watched this woman get killed. I do not know.
Learn that. So that was you're saying. You never learned that.
Brother, I do not know. Whether you like it or don't respect it, that has no bearing on what we're talking about now.
That's not what I'm trying to say. But like the answer to the question is not good enough for you. That's what you're telling me.
But listen, I'm not saying I haven't listen. I really haven't gotten an answer to say if it's good or not. We're still trying to flesh out the question.
You asked the question like twice, and it was the same fucking question. Like, what are you talking about? You ask questions, then when somebody gives you the answer that you don't want that answer, you rehash your question again. So it's not ending.
All right, so
you never get to the conclusion of what.
Okay, hey, you know what? So basically, what you're saying, the question is, all right, cool. So the question that I asked, the response you gave me was, it's none of our business. So okay, I'm content with that.
One of the answers to the question. My original answer is because it's sin.
Well, what your original answer was, it's none of our business. To be frank.
No, that wasn't my original answer. My original answer was because of sin. Then I said it also is none of our business.
Oh, okay, because of sin. So how did this woman sin to warrant her death?
Don't we all sin?
Bro, hold on. Listen, we have to
Christians or whatever, according to Christians or Hebrew Israelites.
No, bro. Listen, I'm asking you to like kind of slow down with your questioning. I mean, with your answering because I'm not hearing it properly. That's why I'm asking you twice because there's some kind of delay or something.
Okay.
I'm being honest with you. There's some kind of delay. Like when I say something and then you respond right after that, I'm not hearing it.
Okay.
So what you're saying is what? Like we move past the point that I'm ignorant, so I'm asking a question through my ignorance. So what was it again? I'm sorry.
I didn't call you ignorant for one. I said it was an ignorant question.
Bro, listen, let's stop.
Don't stop me. You asked me some shit. Now I'm forgetting what the fuck you was even talking about because you think so goddamn long. What do you want to know?
I want to know, why did God allow this woman and sit back and watch this woman get strangled or beaten to a pulp to the point where she lost her life? Why did God allow that?
Okay, your question, you're asking us, why did God allow that? I don't speak with God.
Hey,
Like,
excuse
on a
me.
face-to-face.
Excuse me. I was talking to somebody else. Excuse me.
Okay, let me answer it, Lamont.
Okay.
I said the woman died because of sin. That would be the biblical answer for that. And also the reason why she had to die in whatever way. I said that's none of our business.
Okay, cool.
That's the Most High's business. That has nothing to do with us. That's like if you got brothers and sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your dad gave your sister $5 and gave you and your other brother $3. Why you gave her $5? That's none of your damn business.
Well,
it's nothing to do with you.
And see, that's
the same thing. He's our creator, so we can question him like that. Just like your kids can't question you.
What actually?
Sit down before you get hurt or whatever. They want to keep getting up. You tell them to sit down, and they ask you why. What the hell I gotta sit down for?
Well, see, actually, that's what. Well, see, actually, that's what I was actually getting into, is that when you say, "Well, it's none of our business," but when something like I'm human,
that's not what you should be.
Hold on, brother. I just allowed you to. I
said because of sin.
I just allowed you to speak unmolested, so I can listen to exactly what you were saying, so I can respond properly.
Okay.
So now, when something has happened to me, especially traumatic, I ask the question, why is this happening? I don't ask how or any of these questions. I ask why. Because you know why is so important? Because you learn from the why.
Right.
You don't necessarily learn from the how or the when. You learn from the why. If I touch a stove and it's hot, I learn from the why I got burnt. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to learn from how I.
Moving on.
Okay, so now that we know that everybody asks why, then the question still remains. When you say, "Well, we can't ask God," or "That's none of our business," I'm a human as well as you. So, wouldn't you agree that asking why is imperative?
So, personally,
okay.
Why it happened? Like you said, you touched the stove, right? They ain't got nothing to do with God. That's for you to find out. That's what He gives you the strength and the mind to be able to figure out.
Okay, so now we've come to the point that we understand that I have a mind, so I can try to figure out things.
Not to say this is the case. Hold on. Not to say this is the case. Like, know what I mean? However she died, maybe she was doing something. Other than that,
hey, yo, Killer B. Hey, Killer, you got some other people want to ask some questions on the panel.
Okay.
Is that all right with you, Q?
Yeah. It's cool, but I just couldn't get
anybody
it out.
Else want to ask?
Cool.
Did anybody want to add the Godless Boy Wonder any questions real quick about any of his theories or atheism or anything like that?
I got a question for you, Q.
Sweet.
Who is this? Who is this?
This is Kalaya, brother. How are you, man? Shalom.
Hey, shalom alaikum, brother.
Shalom alaikum to you, my brother. Hey, I got a question, man. Is there any wrongs or rights according to you as an atheist? Like, how do you define what's evil, what's bad?
Man, listen to me, brother, and listen to me carefully. There's many wrongs, and there's many evils, and there's many rights, and I say this so many times, and on the outset, people look at it and they may feel like I'm talking BS or talking sugar honey iced tea.
Sure,
but truth be told, brother, Are you a believer in the like this God concept that God created the universe and gave you a Bible and all of this stuff? Do you believe
Brother,
in that?
brother, I didn't
Peace
ask you
to
that.
Eric.
I asked you,
What
is
what
there any
what
wrongs
what's
or rights? Can you answer my question?
brother? I answered your question within my first two sentences, but I'm trying to connect with you now. What I first said was I said yes, there are wrongs and there are many rights and there are many evils, but now that I answered that, I want to connect with you now
Okay,
so you can understand me. So
gotcha.
now, yes, there are wrongs, and yes, there are many rights, and there are many, many
Hey,
evils.
moving along, man. You saying the same thing over and over. Moving along.
So all right, so let me just get right to it. So now, would you agree with me
Goddamn
that
witch finder general, goddamn it, witch finder general, like and
Burn
subscribe,
them
like
up.
that
Burn
like
them up.
button, baby. Let's get it.
would you agree that rape is bad?
Absolutely,
Would you agree that murder is bad?
absolutely.
Would you agree that educating your children on, the proper things in life is good?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the point I'm trying to make, just real quick, because I couldn't, I can't give a long soliloquy. The point I'm trying to make is, bro, we agree on so many more things that we could ever agree on because we're both humans. We have families, we have lives, so we both agree on so many more things that we could ever disagree on, brother. That's my answer to that.
Cool. So, is wrong a part of life?
Absolutely, my brother.
So, when the Creator says He created good and evil, are we not to accept that? What's wrong with that?
Well, see, the problem is when
Right,
you talk. The problem is when you're talking about it. The problem is when you're talking about an omniscient and omnipotent God who creates good and evil, he's automatically evil because if he allows these evil
Witchfinder General, like and subscribe.
if he allows these evil things to go on under his watch, then he's automatically evil. Because I could just reverse and give you that same question. If you created good and evil, would you
Stop. Well,
allow?
stop right there, right quick. I
Okay,
want to say, hold on a second. So you say that the creator is evil, right? Because he
absolute.
allows evil. Well, okay, hold
Yeah,
on. Just
yeah.
just let me just speak for a minute. We done listened to you for a long time. So you asked me about rape or murder.
Mhm.
So if the child of a parent gets raped, does that make the parent a rapist?
If the child
If the
gets,
child got raped, does that make the parent a rapist?
no, absolutely not. No, of course
If the
not.
mother or father loses their child to murder, does that make them a murderer?
Absolutely not.
So
Hey,
why would you say because evil happens, it makes this what you say as all man
hey, big
God
bro, can I
evil?
interject real fast?
Well, go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
All right.
Peace
It's
to the
as
room,
simple.
man. Everything's coming.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro. It's as simple as this. Yes, he's omnipotent, omnipresent, all that, omnipotent, all that. Check this out. He gave us free will. So why would he impede on the will of someone who chooses to do evil rather than good?
Shout out
Because
to the
at the
new
end of
era
the day,
king,
we
baby.
all
Shout out to
judge
new era
something.
king.
Hey, what's up with bruh?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, brother. We hear you because
So
I wanted
Q,
to respond.
I'm finished. It's simple as that.
Yup.
A person doing evil has just as much free will as the person that's being, victimized. And then
Yeah.
at the end, we are judged.
Well, I don't think you really answered this question, so I'll delve into it a little bit.
Oh, no. Unique. You got to say you got to unmute your mic. Muhammad. I muted somebody.
Yeah. Hey, Cube. Hey, Cube. After you answer that, I want to ask a question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. I don't even really feel I need to really
Okay.
delve into that unless the brother
I
really wants to answer. But that's that's
I have I
that's
have a I have a question. I wanted to ask this for a long time. And when I have asked in the past, I really haven't got it. For me, a satisfactory answer. And my question is more not on the lines of Cube. It's more of Hebrews or anyone that believes in the God concept of the Abrahamic tradition. In one stance, you say that God is all knowing, all powerful. He's all good. Then you say that God is good and bad. Then you say that we should accept the we should accept the free will of people doing good and bad because it's controlled by God, who controls good and evil. But at the same time, y'all mad at the Babylonians, y'all mad at the Egyptians, y'all mad at the Africans. And why would you be mad at? Why would you be mad? Why wouldn't you just accept God's will? Because He created both. That's my question.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets.
No, I was about to say once
To the room.
again.
Hold on, y'all. Muhammad, you had something to say?
I'm just listening to him.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
But he was asking a question to basically God believers and basically saying, if this is God's will, why are you mad at God's will when this is what He orchestrated? Which I was actually about to get into, which I was rudely interrupted on and couldn't do. But he actually said, why are you mad at what God actually orchestrated? So God orchestrated slaves to be here and black slaves, but I'm not gonna go too far. But the brother asked the question, why are you mad at God's will? Don't be mad at the white man. You should be mad at God because He's the one that orchestrated everything. That's what the brother was actually saying.
This brother don't get it. Back on the camps. Back on the goddamn camps. All right. Which final general? God damn it! I'm burning them up.
But can somebody answer that question that the brother just asked?
You been trying to get this answer for like a half hour. Everybody's been answering you. You just keep flipping it.
Hey, I was simply
You won't be wrong. It is leaving everybody in limbo.
Just real quick question. Does anybody else have any questions for Q? Kalai, you got us a question?
No, we don't got no more questions.
Yeah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody to answer what the brother Heru said. If all of this shit is part of God's plan, why you mad at white people? And why you mad
But
at all these other people if this was His plan from the beginning?
He interjected God's will when God is just going to be the judgment. Men do what men do because of we have free
Brother,
will.
that wasn't. Hold on, I don't want to let you get too far. That wasn't the question. He said, "Why are you mad at these other people if it was God's will?" That's what he alluded to. So why can't you be mad at white people for putting your black ass in chains
No,
when this
I
was?
heard everything he said, bruh. He
So
said that
respond to that.
the whole thing, you're changing it. You're moving the goalposts. He said that God controls. God does not control. The Most High judges. We will do whatever actions we deem fit in our lifespan, and at the end of it, He will be the judge.
Hey,
This is the
Bro,
plan.
you must be was the worst Hebrew Israelite on the face of the planet. And if you wasn't, you was sitting right next to him.
hey, brother Heru, did I hit it? Brother
Yeah,
Heru,
Somebody done passed out on the phone here.
yeah. I think you did hit it, and this is what I'm saying is that
I hit the nail on the head.
yeah.
That's what I
I mean,
did. They're not getting it. Is what it is.
and what I'm saying is this, and I think Lex actually was talking to Yara on this. Is you say that God doesn't intervene, and then we see scriptures where God does intervene on the will of men, but then it's the narrative is changed. So to me, I'm not a Hebrew Israelite, so it doesn't really matter to me. I don't subscribe to that. So if you say it's sin in your people, that's fine. I have nothing to do with that. If that's what they believe, then go and live your best life under the law, statutes, and commandments. As long as you can reach to a higher level of spirituality and produce and
Nah,
people.
you're giving them too. You're giving them too
Well,
much. Ask the question
let me
again.
ask.
No. This is what I'm saying. But what
You're
I'm
giving
saying
them too
is
much.
what I'm saying is though. But if you have those, if your God is all powerful, all knowing, if your God knows it controls the will or bends the will, and you said that God doesn't intervene, if that's true, then in some scriptures, and maybe somebody can clarify it for me, that He does intervene on the will of man. You know, so
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. That's kind of hard to say that, and I know which Ronnie General say, well, she died of sin, but then I would have to ask what sin did she commit to judge to have that done to her.
exactly.
So
That's
who you know what I'm saying? It would have to be questions even as far as far even as the Hebrew Israelite in that camp is like, what did she do? Or was it
exactly.
strictly just this one particular person who decided to take on that judgment himself? Because he was
Exactly.
judging juror of her. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
It
So
wasn't
it's kind
God.
of,
It was
yeah,
her. It was him that did it,
yeah.
not God that did it. It
So
Well,
was
it's
him.
I'll look
it's
at it
confusing.
like this. We always want to ask questions why. First of all, she could be just an innocent victim, and
I agree with that.
as far as people who commit these heinous acts, they target innocent people that don't deserve what happened to them all the time. And it's not a question. It's not a. There was no statement saying, well, she got what she deserved. It's just a situation where you would have to investigate, just like any crime scene. I mean, if you go up to a crime scene, there are questions as to why it happened, but the crime scene is there, so you would have to, you
Well,
know, do
but can we?
interviews and
But can we be fair and say that this isn't a regular crime scene because this person was a parishioner and a lover of God. So the only person that would have a
wait,
right
wait,
to
wait, wait, wait,
kill
wait.
her.
What are you talking about? A lover of God? What are you talking about?
Hold on, I'm about to explain it. This person was a lover and a follower of God. So
Okay,
only
so what
God.
are you talking about?
Bro, I'm about to explain it to you.
Okay,
Just
go ahead, do it.
give me a second.
Do it.
This
Explain it.
person, this person was a lover of God. So
Hey,
only
real quick,
God.
Q, slow down for a minute. Slow down 1 second. Hold on. I'm not trying to cut your knowledge right quick or the build. Hey, y'all, listen. Whether he's an atheist or not, or whether Haru is Kemet or not, or whether it doesn't matter. Let's all have a good build. We don't want to interrupt one another while we're talking, and we want to keep it as clean as possible. This ain't Judah Nash panel. You know what I'm saying? This is the
Oh,
Witchfinder General, and y'all better
I
like and
haven't said
subscribe out
anything
here.
yet.
No, I'm not
I
saying that
haven't.
you are.
Okay.
I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying we want to keep it clean and stuff like that because I got some questions I'm gonna ask you too. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Who
I'll
is
keep it clean.
snoring on the phone?
Yeah, somebody fell asleep. But my thing is, this isn't a regular case, as the brother was saying, because this is a person who was a follower and a lover of God. No different if we look about 3, 4 years ago, as those 8 women and that one dude that died when Dylan Roof went in there and killed those black people. Those people were in there praising and worshiping God, and they still got killed. So we have to
Okay,
then
you haven't answered the
we
question. What are you talking about, lover of God? What does that mean?
that listen, I said parishioners. These people are worshiping God. These
Okay,
people are putting.
what are you talking about? Which God? Which God are they worshiping?
Listen. If I'm in the Indy 500, I am putting the Indy 500 above everything that I'm doing at that moment because I'm driving in the Indy
Okay, once
500.
again, you said that they were worshiping
Bro,
God. What specific God are they worshiping?
they're worshiping the God of the Bible. Period. Point
Okay, and
blank.
what is that?
That is saying that they're worshiping the God of the Bible, and this God of the Bible didn't
And,
protect
and
them.
who is that?
What do you mean? Who is that? I
Who
don't
is the God of the
compute.
Bible?
That doesn't compute to me,
That doesn't
brother.
compute. Well, there are different gods in the Bible, all sorts of gods.
So there's different gods in the Bible. So if
Yeah.
okay, so if there's different gods in the Bible, then how do we know which one to follow? You tell me which one to follow, and if there's different gods in the Bible, then somebody else can tell me that there's another God I should follow. So that means that nobody can ever be
Okay.
worshipped.
Well,
Go
in
ahead.
Exodus chapter 20, it says that we should be worshiping Yah.
Okay, so now we run into a major problem because you're telling me that if I write a book and people are not following the book that I wrote to
Okay,
the
but
T,
then let's rewind. You said that they're
hold on, wait, no,
worshiping
no,
God, and I
hold
asked
on,
you which God are they
bro,
worshiping, and you
hold
didn't answer the
on,
question yet.
just walk with me, just walk with me for 1 second, just walk with me,
Oh man, I am
please,
walking.
please, just walk with me. If I write a book and I want people to follow and worship me, if I write this book to where I make it unclear to where they could be following two other
It's
people
not
who they
unclear at all.
hold on. You just said that there's other gods in the Bible. So hold
Yeah,
on.
it's that, but it
Brother,
makes it clear
hold
who
Brother, hold on. Just walk with me, bro. Just walk with me for a second.
Come on, man. You gotta keep it going. You gotta keep going. Like,
So if I write a book to where I'm telling you to worship and follow me, but in this book I also make it to where there's other gods in this book. If you're not following just me and you're following other people, which I wrote into this book, how can I then be mad at you for following these other people?
yo, these are like the craziest ass fucking questions, dude. And like they have nothing to do with like
that's common sense.
That's not even in there. Like
that's common sense. That's common sense.
Common sense. It's stupidity. Because using Hebrew Israelite once also is either like I said, like use the dumbest Hebrew Israelite or like get this thing. I don't know. These are like simple. Like, the questions you're asking is like bugged out. Like they don't even have anything to do with the religion.
Listen, if I write a book that has 4 endings in it, we've all read books like that. Some of those Goosebumps books. Bro, hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. We've all read.
Answer the question. What book got 4 endings?
I just gave you an example, brother. I just told you.
That's what I'm talking about. There's no fucking such thing. So
yes,
you're giving me that shit doesn't exist and it's illogical. It's not even logical.
So you mean to tell me? So you mean to tell me you've never read a book that has multiple endings? That's what you're telling me?
No, you have to go in a different direction.
Okay,
you have to go in a different direction. You can't have a book.
Well, see, that's fine because you just haven't read enough books that have multiple endings. That's all that's saying. Because Goosebumps was really big when I was a kid, and when
the Bible doesn't have 4 endings. The Bible doesn't have 4 endings.
But the only reason I referenced that because this dude just told me that there's multiple gods in the book, so I had to
jumping onto that and not staying with your point.
Because I had to say if there's multiple gods in the book.
Have to say anything. All you have to
listen. If there's multiple gods in the book, then how can I be
everybody else on the panel ask the question, get the answer, and be satisfied?
Hold on, let me say this and I'm done. If there's multiple gods in the book, how can I begrudge someone for following a different God that's in the book when I'm the one that wrote it? Like, come on, let's be fair.
Like, are you faking?
Am I faking? No, I'm being clear.
He tells you what to follow, right?
But there's multiple gods in the book, so how can you begrudge me? How can you begrudge me?
Your kid, you tell him not to cross. You tell your kid not to cross the street, and he's surrounded by 50 fucking streets. You told him not to cross the fucking street. So if he crossed the street, that's his axe.
Okay, now good.
Right or wrong?
Hey, that's a perfect example. You're right. That's a perfect example.
That's the end of it. So what you're saying don't make no fucking sense.
That's a perfect example. That's a perfect example, and I'm glad you said that. Because now, what if I write a book that tells you to cross?
Dumb shit, yo. You that shit's retarded. We just proved that it's retarded. Now you saying, yo, well now, what about this? Like, it's another retarded ass question.
So you don't even want to hear me out, is what you're saying?
Not right now.
Okay, cool. I'll go on mute. Okay.
Not right now.
All right, I'll go on mute. I'll go on mute.
It's spinning.
Hold on, real quick. Let me ask a question. I want to ask some questions.
Don't ask you.
You stupid.
Come on, y'all. All right, come on, y'all. Hey, Q, come on back in, man. He just clowning you, man.
I was fucking with you, dude, man. I ain't trying to put you all those shit.
You know that, man. Come on, Q.
Hey, yeah. I'm still here, man.
He just fucking with you. He just clowning. He just clowning you, man.
Listen. I don't.
You and the views of this service.
I don't take that stuff no kind of way because I understand what time it is. But go ahead with what you got to say.
You ready? All right. You ready for some questions?
Go ahead, man.
You gonna give me some answers?
If I have them, sure.
All right. Where did creation come from?
Well, when you use the word creation, that's actually a logical fallacy because we don't know and we can't prove that anything was ever created.
Okay. If I have sex with a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I procreate?
Absolutely. And
Okay.
also, hold on, let me say this, and we can trace that child back to you and your wife or the woman that you procreated with.
Very good. Now, what sustains the life of that child?
Well, it would depend on the atmosphere. Did you feed the give the child milk, or it all depends.
That's not what I'm asking. I said what? Okay, I did say what sustains the life.
Yeah, you
What
said what?
enables? Right. I said what sustains it. Okay, that's the right. What enables that object to become adamant and not inanimate?
Well, that's once again a logical fallacy because if you procreate, we have to assume that you be an inanimate object, and if you procreate, that child has to be animate. So that's a bad question, bro.
There's no such thing as a bad question. All
Oh,
questions
really?
are logical if they can be answered. Hold on, you're not going to
Well,
flip it. I'm asking. I asked you, can I ask some questions? You said
go
yes,
ahead,
right?
bro. Go ahead. I don't,
Okay.
bro. Listen, this is
Okay.
Nate.
Is
Go
a
ahead.
rock? I got. I know who you. I got you. I know you. Now let me ask you a question. Is a rock alive?
No, in the
Okay.
sense of in the sense
It's
of in in the sense of in the sense in the sense of how we look at animate, inanimate, no, it's not animate at all.
okay. So what adamants or what animates a living organism and keeps it alive?
Well, see, that's a very good question because now we look at chemistry because we can look at components that a rock is made of. We can look at components that dirt is made of. We can look at different components of different things that they're made of. But when it comes to a human or animals, we are made of certain components which allow us to be alive.
Okay. Are humans made up of gas?
Absolutely, we're made up of gas.
Is a rocket made of gas?
No.
A rocket is not controlled by a gas propulsion
Oh,
system?
my bad. I thought you said a rock. A rocket, yes, yes. It uses gas and propulsion to
Okay, it needs oxygen, it needs carbon monoxide, it needs
absolute,
carbon dioxide, it needs
absolutely,
all those things, right? Now all of these
absolutely,
things we can right now all of these things we can find within the human body, right?
absolutely.
Okay, but yet can that rocket think for itself?
Of course not,
Can
unless
that
it's
rocket hold on? You just said it. That's good enough for me. Can a rocket motivate itself?
of course not as it stands today.
Can
No,
a rocket on a 24-hour cycle will it wake up during the day and go to sleep during the night?
absolutely not.
Okay, so that makes that rocket what? Inanimate, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
yet, right, but you just agreed that a rocket is made up of certain components and humans are made up of certain components that make us what? Animate, right?
Yeah, but before you go too
Hold
far,
on,
no,
stop,
no,
slow
no,
your
no, no,
roll.
no, 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 no. I
Hold on,
can't slow my roll because
Q,
I have
Q,
to
go ahead.
respond to
Q,
that.
you can
I
you can
have to
respond,
respond.
but you cannot ask me a question. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm not. No, I'm not going to ask you any question. I
Go
have to
ahead.
respond because I also preface what I said with what I said was when you look at chemistry, when you look at a rock, it's made up of certain components. When you look at dirt, it's made up of certain components. But when you look at a human being, it's made up of those same components. But the way that a human body works together, that is what makes it animate, as the definition that we use it today.
Okay, and I'm sitting up there saying that there are other components within certain substructures or subterranean structures of the Earth that humans share in common with. That's
Like
you
what?
and
Like
you
what?
use.
Like
Sir,
what
hold on, one more
like what
time,
substructures?
sir. I'm asking the questions, not
Okay.
you, unfortunately. Okay. Now, you used a rocket. What? 1 second. How many witnesses I got that say he used the rocket?
No, you brought that up, brother. So you have no witnesses.
Let me
So
ask the
you brought that
question.
up.
How many
You
of
brought that
y'all
up.
heard him said, I said a rock. Is it animate or inanimate?
Yep.
You said a rocket. And you said a rocket contains gas, and there are certain components within the human body that makes it what? Animated, right? Or animate, right?
Mhm.
And I said up there said, but humans have certain same components within that rocket. And guess what? That rocket can't think for itself. It can't procreate for itself. It needs what? A human to create it. It needs a human to send it flying off. So I asked you, what makes a human animate versus any other thing in this world that is inanimate, made up of the same cell structure as us?
All right. And funny part about this is I answered this question initially on the outset when you first asked it. So no, I did not bring up a rocket, but I did bring up a rock when I said that we're made up of a lot of the same things as a rock. I never said a rocket because the first
Okay,
time the word.
okay,
Hold
okay,
on, no,
then
no,
a
no,
rock
no, I'm
then.
not
We'll
done.
just
No,
say
no, no, I'm
rock.
not done. No, no, I'm not done. I'm
I
not
said,
done.
okay, I could have
I'm
swore you
not
said
done.
rocket.
No, but I'm not
Brother,
done. Okay, okay,
I
okay.
just agreed with you that maybe I made a mistake.
Okay, okay. So you have
Go
another
ahead.
question? So you have another question?
Okay, so I'm still gonna ask you, I'm still asking you, what makes us animate versus something else, such as a tree, excuse me, such as any other subcomponent on this earth or any other living structure that's inanimate. What makes it inanimate, which makes us animate?
All right. So, like I said earlier, and when I spoke about a rock, ROCK, I mentioned a rock. What makes us animate is because even though we are made up of a lot of things that a rock has and a lot of things that dirt has, now you're talking about chemistry. So when we put these things together, you get humans. When you put other things together, you get a rock. When you put other chemicals together, you get dirt. But with us, with the things that we'll put together, you get humans. That's what makes us animate.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you again because you just did a parallel between a rock and human, but you're still missing one thing, right? What enables us to function? What
I just
animates us? What
I just
animates us?
I just told
What
you once
components? Okay, I'm asking you what
chemistry.
components, what chemistry? That chemistry is a term.
To you it's a term.
Okay, you said chemistry. I'm asking
Uh-huh.
you what parts of chemistry? There's biochemistry, there is nuclear chemistry. What part of chemistry animates us, brother?
All right. So, to be fair, brother, if we're talking about the human body, I have to be talking about biochemistry. Let's be fair.
Okay, so
That's
what
the
part
book.
of
I'm
biological
a
chemistry animates us? Go.
okay. So I just told you once again, all of these different things within chemistry is what allows us to be animate. Period. There's no
Okay.
way around that.
Okay, now watch this. I'm gonna show you something. When you put a car in, you have what they call a starter's chamber. The starter's chamber and does what? It sends a spark through the combustion chamber that makes the energy in the engine do what? Jump. That's called a jump start. Boom! Then all of a sudden that spark goes through there. The engine starts going. The battery sits there and it sustains the life of that engine so it can keep running and it keeps the energy flowing through the car. Alternate charge, DC direct charge, et cetera, et cetera. Right?
Right,
Those are the things that are enabling that car to run, right? I'm asking
right.
you what in the chemistry of a human, right? The chemistry of a human, what makes us function? You should be able to break this down.
Well,
Go.
that's fairly easy, brother, because when you look at other animals versus the animals that we are, with when it comes to our hearts, when it comes to our lungs, when it comes to our pancreas and all of these things work in concert to keep us alive. So if you want to go back before that, what we see is when we started when we began to eat meat, that is what enlarged our brain. and through the enlargement of our brain allowed us to gain the intelligence that we have. So that's fairly simple. The whole human body works in concert with each other. Your heart pumps, it pumps blood. Every part of your body needs blood. You chop off a finger, it squirts out blood. But it also has systems called coagulation, which can stop that. You see what I'm saying? To where
What
all your
charge? Hold on. You're trying to explain it, right? And here's the thing. What charges the body to start every morning and enable it to function? I just showed you how a car starts. I'm asking you what charges the body? What is it that allows human to operate every day? You're giving me a very abstract understanding of it. I need you to be concrete. Hold on. And since you can't be concrete right now, because just don't think, I'm not challenging your position as an atheist. I'm asking for some understanding on your position as an atheist. And I don't think you really study that. You might study all the, that stuff you were talking earlier. You might study that, but you don't study this. You want to know why, Q? Because no one knows what enables us to walk, talk, and breathe every day.
Well, that's not true.
We believe, hold on. We believe we have what we call a soul, whether people want to call God Yahweh, whether some people want to call him Ra or Ray, or whether somebody want to call him Jesus, or they just want to say the Mother Earth, right? But we believe we have what we have called a soul, which
Yeah.
enables us to live, which is what? Energy. This is where you get the word chi, inner chi from. So we
Yeah.
believe that's what causes us to function every single day. And it's something that really can't be explained. No human can explain that. You can't put a term on it. And guess what? I've never heard, as much as I like Neil deGrasse Tyson, as much as I enjoy listening to his work, he can't even explain it. He'll tell you,
Right.
I don't know. And that's why I challenged you with this line of questioning today. I love you. You my nigga, no doubt about it. But I know you
Yeah.
can't answer that. You
Yeah.
can't answer that. Just sometimes you got to
Yeah.
fall back and say, hey, man, I don't know.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
brother.
And if you're
Brother.
hold on, if you're an eight, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna do like you do. I promise I'm gonna give it back to you. I promise if you just give me 2 more seconds, I'm gonna give it back to
Go
you.
ahead. Hey, no, take your
What
time.
what I'm saying is this. Sometimes when you don't know, I'd be damned if I let you turn into a Yara or any other one of them religious zealots, fucking zealots on any of them religious zealots. Sometimes go like this. Hey, you know what? That's not in the realm of my conversation. I'm still studying that, and hopefully I can give you an answer. But notice I'm saying when we start darting around all over the place, that makes us look what we call ignorant because we're without knowledge of the situation. And it's best to fall back and say, I'm not sure of that, but I will study that. And then the person won't drill you as hard because he gonna know what? Who is snoring on the phone? Anyway, on the chat. But what it enables us to do is look like, okay, he said he don't have any knowledge of that. And guess what? I'm telling you, it's a free get out of jail card.
All right. Well, see, that right there, you're 100% right. If I couldn't answer the question, I'll easily say that. Because when it comes to disproving God, I'll tell you 100% emphatically that I can't disprove God. But when I'm talking to a God believer, they also have to be honest and say that 100% they can't prove God. So I'm standing right there with you. But unfortunately for your line of questioning, it falls flat because we do know without a shadow of a doubt that electricity is what allows our brain to function, thus allowing our heart to beat. Let me just read something to you real quick.
How do you explain paranormal activity?
Well, that's garbage and bullshit. But let me just read this. No, it's bullshit. Let me just read this. It says electricity is found throughout the human body. The flow of charged ions causes your heart to beat and your muscles to contract. But nowhere in the body is electrical activity better documented than where? The brain, which contains roughly 100 billion electrically conductive biological wires. So when you said whatever the fuck you said, which was totally false, it's your brain that's doing everything. Because I can rip your heart out and you would still be alive for a minute. But when I
That's
blow
fine.
your
I don't mind you saying that. I don't mind you saying that at all.
well,
Can I
but
ask you a question
if you
about
don't
that real
mind
quick?
if you don't
Hold
mind me
on.
saying
Wait a second.
if you don't mind me
One
saying
sec.
it if you
Q,
don't mind
Q.
me saying it, you don't mind
Let
me
me say this
finishing.
real quick. Q,
If you don't
Q,
mind me saying it,
Q,
you don't mind me finishing.
Q. I don't mind you finishing, okay? But here we cite sources. So can you cite that source that you just read, please? I
All
cite
right.
mine.
Yeah, no,
Can you
that's
cite
fine.
that source?
Yeah. Go to Gizmodo. Go to Gizmodo.com.
Gizmodo.com.
Yeah, go to Giz
Okay,
G.
can you spell that for me?
Yeah, GIZMODO.com. And
Gizmodo.com. I got you.
and there's so much more because we can measure the voltage, we can measure the amperage, and we can also measure the watts when it comes to the human brain. So nice try, but no, brother. Nice try, but no.
Hey, can I ask a question on the brain part?
Yeah,
When
go
you
ahead.
start talking about the brain, you're talking about electricity. Most of the electricity that's in the brain is based on the synapses of information being transferred from one part to another.
Well, no,
I
not
think.
necessarily. No,
Okay, that's
go
cool.
ahead, go
That's
ahead.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
go ahead.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
But I think Chris is also talking about the actual when he says the soul. It's talking about the life force of the spirit, which actually, I guess, propels us to wake up every day. What is that? Because as you said, you know what I'm saying, your brain can live and somebody can rip out your heart, but we also know that people have been brain dead and their heart still pumps. So
That's my point.
I believe it's a combination, but that force of the mind and the spirit
But that's
scientifically,
my point.
wait, okay, listen what I'm saying. The mind and the spirit is what I believe Chris is saying, is that no one has been able to find out exactly what that soul and spirit is. We have no
Go.
idea of exactly how to explain it
Well,
with our current science, because it's a force, it's an unexplainable force or
yes.
attribute that's two men. So that's all I want to add in. I'm not challenging
All
the
right.
brother's side.
Well, let me help you out, brother. That
Go
shit
ahead.
is that's garbage, and no disrespect to you. You know I love you, brother.
Well,
Hazel.
I just want to just wait. When you say garbage, which part is? Be more specific, so I'll know,
Every
so I can correct
every
myself.
everything you said was
Okay.
garbage, and
Okay.
I'm about
Okay.
to
Okay. Wait a minute. That's
help
fine.
you.
So wait, that's fine. So you're saying that the electrical pulses in your brain is not based on the synapses of the brain of information. That's how when you do EKGs and stuff, they can
Exactly.
tell by you when you're thinking. So was that part garbage?
That's totally garbage. And the reason
Okay.
I'm
So
telling you, the reason I'm telling you that is because of what I'm about to read.
I
Because I
want to, hey,
just
real quick, guys, real quick.
what?
The site that the source that you gave me is a community-oriented post.
okay.
It's not in, there's no author here or anybody. This is a
Yeah.
community-sponsored post.
Yeah.
It's
Well.
almost like NikeTalk.com or
Oh, okay.
Facebook,
Yeah.
All
and this
right.
Yeah.
is where you
But
took me to. Just
But
letting you
here's
know.
All right.
but here's what
All
we
right.
do know, right? When we start talking about
Hey,
synapses, we start talking about
but let me read
EKGs.
this. Hold on, but just
Okay,
one
go ahead.
second. Let me read this
Go
because
ahead.
this is gonna clear a
Not a
lot of.
scholarly source. It's not a good scholarly source to
Yeah.
cite
Yeah.
something
Okay.
like this
Yeah.
when you're in the
Okay.
realm of scholarship, brother.
Yeah.
Okay. All
You're
right.
good
Yeah.
though. I
Yeah.
love you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Same. But let me read this so it can kind of get you brothers on the right track.
Mm.
So now it says the average mammalian it says
Silly.
the average mammalian neuron, and we all agree that we're mammals, right? Like I hope we at least agree on that. It says the average mammalian neuron has a resting potential of about 65 millivolts after being stimulated. Say what?
We're not mammals.
Oh fuck! Now I'm in a whole nother conversation. Let me read this and I'm done. I'm
Go
done.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't walk on
Is
all
it?
fours. We're not mammals.
Holy fuck. Okay, I'm gonna read this and I'm going for the night.
How can we be mammals if we don't walk on all fours?
Bro, I'm gonna read you the definition of mammal and tell me your mother wasn't a mammal after that.
Well,
And that's
go
no
ahead.
disrespect to you.
No, go ahead and read it, so we can finish up with this.
Yeah. Yeah, it says the average mammalian neuron has a resting potential of about 65 millivolts. After being stimulated, the cell membrane depolarizes. The charge difference becomes closer to zero. If the stimulus raises the membrane potential above 55 millivolts, called the threshold potential, and action potential is triggered. The membrane potential shoots up to a peak of approximately 40 millivolts and quickly falls again. When this happens, electric current is propagated forward. So that goes back to what I was saying initially. So when you look at millivolts, the higher it is, the lower the state. The lower it is, the higher the state that you're in, and you're more aware. So just to continue, it says, so every time one of our neurons fires, it produces a charge gradient of about 105 millivolts. This tiny charge in voltage causes an even tinier amount to flow, about 1 nanoamp. According to biophysicist Bertil Hill of the University of Washington, you may be thinking these numbers sound pretty puny, but lucky for us, the human brain contains roughly 80 billion neurons. Of course, not all of them are lighting up at once. In fact, recent research suggests that only about 1% of the neurons in our brains are active. So, what is it saying? That you only use 1% of your fucking brain. Same shit that people been saying forever. Because they can.
All right, we done with that bullshit.
Yeah.
No, but let me finish though. It's almost done.
You know what you're talking about. We don't even know what.
Yeah. Well, I know what he's talking about.
But this is crazy.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Which Kilby.
All right, man. I'm going, man. Hey, y'all have a good night, man. I can't do the ignorant shit that much. Hey, peace.
We talk about Israelite camps, and you talk about neurons.
He said neurons.
Know what I'm saying? I let you run with it. Then we answer your questions, and it's not good enough. I don't understand. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but like I said, you can have all the neurons, but when you look in the medical field and they do look at your brain, the intelligence and how your memory works is based on synapses connections, which are the electrical connections within the brain. But still, outside of that, that's still not your consciousness, which is what Chris is talking about. So you would have to. I see the explanation as far as in the biology of it. But the biology of it does not explain the life force, which cannot be explained through modern medicine. He's explaining the brain and the functions in biology, but it doesn't explain the other piece. And no physicist or biologist or anybody would go against what Chris is saying as far as like we don't know. We have no idea exactly what that is.
Yeah, all they would say is we don't know. I don't think
we don't know.
Right, and what I'm trying to sit up here and say is when you start getting sequestered, because I've been studying on atheism, but I've been studying more on like looking at like the chemistry makeup of a human being. Right, I was studying all that, and there are components of the human body that they just can't explain. Like say for instance, procreation. Right, we bring forth life. There's no way that you can squirt your seed in a woman, right? If you make love to that woman and we're able to spit out a human being, that is called bringing forth life. What animates that object, that egg inside of her? That's called life. You can't explain that. That's why I believe in creation and the creator, or Yah, or whatever people want to call him, or Ray. I tell everybody, it's a life force. Like the Most High is a life force. It's a life-giving force. And I always tell people I don't need, and I'll continue to say this, a book to prove that God exists. I can use books and literature to verify his or the creator's existence. And all of our ancestors believe in a God. Now, he's not trolling when he says he leaves and he says something like, all right, y'all, I can't take the ignorance anymore. You got to know how to talk to Q. You know what I'm saying? He'll use terms that will enrage everybody else. You get what I'm saying? But you just got to know what he's trying to say.
Nah,
you get what I'm saying?
In his replies, that would drive me fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You hear what the nigga say, and then he be like, I ain't say that. And go on.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You got to understand this. And he'll just take you, and you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with what was being asked.
Yeah, but me and Haru, we've been kicking it with Cube. Cube's all right. He's a little different. Right. He's a little different. Yeah, he all right. Ain't nothing wrong with Cube.
Yeah, Cube
you know
is
what I'm
the
saying?
type. Cube the type will agree with you and disagree with you all in the same instant.
Yeah, Cube. Hey, look, I hope he listening. Cube will sip some of that yak. Like, you know what? Chris was right about that. He'll call me back like, man, fuck that nigga. You was wrong. Like, now what was wrong about that, Cube? He like, nigga, I just think it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because he opinionated too. So, you know what I'm saying?
Haul ass when he get cornered. And he'll haul ass. There you go, haul ass and shit. All right, back on this damn camp shit. I got a clip I wanted to play from I Say Divine.
Bring it out, Killer B. Bring it out. Bring them damn camps on their knees.
Burn them up. Burn them up. Burn them up. Back on my nigga shit. Back on my nigga shit. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Which general, goddamn? Which final general? Which
damn heathen teaching about some man flying out the sky to save you.
Yo, so smack that damn like button, goddamn. Smack that goddamn like button.
Jesus gonna come save y'all if y'all don't hit that like button. Jesus not gonna come save y'all. Real talk.
Yeah, let's
I just wanted to ask him if we're closer to a pig than to a chimp. I mean, to an ape.
He would have loved to answer that too, believe it or not.
I wanted to ask him that, and then I wanted him to answer. Ask him if a woman has twins, can she have two different baby fathers?
I heard that's possible.
I'm about to say I've heard that's possible too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, before we go into that video, you want to know something else these camps do? They'll scour the internet and look for a black and white baby, a black couple having a black and white baby, and they be all like, "See, look, Jacob and Esau, look."
Yep.
Esau was white. We keep telling y'all on one picture. Then when you go look at the picture, man, that other baby was adopted like a motherfucker. Nope. Get on out of here, man. I know what picture they use.
Like that thing I showed, I read to you today, that they had on Maccabees TV, and it was saying that he was reading something about Africa, and saying that the people there were Jews, but then like he highlighted, it said the Jews were Jews, right? And it said, but then it said and mixed with Negro. Know what I'm saying? So they like it's like a play on words and stuff. They'll show you, see, look, that says that right there. That says that right there. But like when you go back and really like after the brainwashing, you get out of the brief program, you go back
That's right.
You know, shit, not saying that at all.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
and
but
look,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, one last thing. And another thing that they do that I noticed that they do. Man, you made me forget my point. Witchfinder General, he took a witch spell off my damn head and I forgot who I was already. Goddamn Witchfinder General. Roll that goddamn bean footage, boy. It made me forget what I said.
All right, here we go.
That's what the fuck I need to know. Okay. They need to ask Captain to, but you're also indulging in it.
Wait, hold on, let me find it.
I fucking believe it. You so against pedophilia, right?
Oh,
your boy
shit.
suck. make it seem like that.
Okay.
Let me give an explanation because rescue.
I'm sorry about that, y'all.
Even though you had nothing to do with it, I don't even know where the fuck that came from, and I don't fuck with Nature Boy. I fucking believe him. You so against Cesaria.
Okay, here we go.
You so against pedophilia. You so against this shit.
She's talking about Captain Cesaria.
Right? Okay. Let's bring the receipts out because I just don't understand how you can be against something but you're also indulging in it. I need to know what the fuck is up with these messages. That's what the fuck I need to know. Okay. They need to ask Captain Tazariak about his disabled daughter that he takes money from to pay for one of his ribs bills. This is what this say. He never even visits the baby. And Captain Tazariak has the nerve to speak on sexual abuse once a month. And he was trying to court his wife's 15-year-old niece. Now, this is from somebody who was in the fucking camp.
Well, y'all heard that?
Say that again.
Gotta bring it on back.
It's ribs bills. This is.
Wait, listen.
They need to ask Captain Tazariak about his disabled daughter that he takes money from to pay for one of his ribs bills. This is what this say. He never even visits the baby. And Captain Tazariak has the nerve to speak on sexual abuse once a month. And he was trying to court his wife's 15-year-old niece. Now, this is from somebody who was in the fucking camp. Let's show the receipts.
You heard that? I just want to say, too, he ain't really done about business shit what he do with fucking his money and shit. But that second part, that's what pretty much what I wanted to play. But that's... You heard that, brother? Mayru?
I heard that. But I was like, didn't somebody bring that out? And I don't forgot what he said, but somebody did bring that out about him. But I don't remember exactly what transpired about that, because they were saying that if a child or somebody, I guess, is handicapped, they can't even, or disabled, they can't even go into the temple.
Right.
It was something like that, and they addressed that with him, but I don't know. I mean, I like to hear what happened.
I'm talking about courting the 15-year-old niece.
I heard about that, but I believe when he spoke about it, he said that wasn't true. But that's about all I heard about it, because I guess the camps keep it on the hush hush.
And these are allegations.
Yeah, they definitely keep it on the hush. But as a nation, shouldn't all of Israel bring that to the table?
Yeah, you damn right.
Shouldn't he be responsible to talk in front of the congregation?
Yep.
And you know what I'm saying?
Because that means now he's doing what the Catholic priests do. Hide him. Send him to another church.
They would have had us
on the Catholic church
so fast. They would have had us on there before the congregation so quick, it wouldn't even be funny. They would have had an emergency council and called everybody down to the church and put your ass on blast in front of everybody. That's how they do it.
Boom, bitch. Let out.
Yep.
They did you like on Goodfellas. Come on in here. We're going to make you a made man.
Yep. That's how they do it. I seen him do it for brother a deacon one time. I seen him do it too. They thought he was trying to start his own group, which he ended up doing. He did end up doing. But yeah, man, that's the same dude that said Nate sent him a picture of somebody's penis.
Damn.
Yep. Like it was a mistext. Like, know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Or maybe he was trying to tell him something. I don't know. You know.
Man.
I guess it was some other brothers tagged in the text message also. Yep. Yeah, man, that's something else. Let me continue playing this. Where's that?
I can see this. Hope y'all can see this. Hope y'all can see this. Hope y'all can see this. I'm gonna just leave it there for a minute. Hope y'all can read it. Y'all can pause it or whatever. And then let's go to the next one.
She's showing the text messages.
Hope y'all can see this. Okay. Let me see.
Go over to I Say Device channel and subscribe too.
So, okay, let's read it again. Let's read it again. This says, give me 1 minute. Let me go back. Let me find it because there's so many. It's so fucking.
Let me skip.
This picture to the sister. Okay. Why did I don't even want to call this nigga a brother? Okay, but I'm just so used to saying it. It just comes the fuck out. Why did Brother Kana send a fucking picture? Send this picture to the sister that escaped ISUPK, threatening her, talking about this could be her. Let's show the receipt.
It's a picture of a sister like all beat up, whole eyes swollen.
This is Brother Kana. That's his page, right?
Kana Killmonger.
Y'all can see this shit. That's his page. And then he sends this picture to the sister that escaped.
She left the group.
With a subliminal motherfucking threat saying that could be her. First of all, why did you even release that picture? Second of all, why the fuck are you making threats to a woman? Why? And then how the fuck is all this shit going on, but y'all so righteous? I need answers immediately. Because the more shit comes out, the more fucked up y'all gonna look. The more fucked up y'all gonna look. This is only one of 200. Okay, it's probably 3, maybe 400. It's so much shit, family. I got more shit on their ass than Nature Boy. I got way more shit. It took me 3 years to expose Nature Boy. I don't know how long it's gonna take. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna give your ass a chance to respond. I'm gonna give you a chance to respond. And don't call me. Don't text me. Because when you presented yourself to me, it was on fucking live. It was on your YouTube chat live. That's what the fuck it was at when you presented yourself to me. When you presented to me how you were so against pedophilia. When you presented yourself that you were so against domestic violence. And y'all sat on that fucking show. Y'all sat on that show and talked all this shit about Nature Boy. All this shit about Nature Boy. But you doing the same thing. You need to talk about what happened with your wife, 15-year-old niece. And you need to talk about this, why their brother could not send this picture to the sister.
So, see, we got people threatening sisters like to beat people up. This shit is fucking wild, yo. Anybody want to chime in on this? Willie Gretsch, what you think about?
Down goes Serapis, down goes Jesus, down goes Muhammad, down goes ISUPK, and down goes the IUIC. Boom, bitch. It ain't
more to follow.
Boom. Down they go.
Stay fever.
But they righteous though.
All that work for naught. All that work for naught. Did nothing.
We not just Hebrew Israelites. We the Hebrew Israelites of the world, Craig.
Boom. Messing around. That's what happens. Wow.
And what they was doing before, they was going at back and forth. They was all getting on so hard.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Trying to knock him out the box because he had to YouTube my lot. That like 2008, 2010 and stuff. He had YouTube on lock for the Hebrew Israelite video. The ISUPK came out, like, you know what I mean? They had to get GMS out of there.
Man.
Turf war.
Buffalo Soldier.
Yup. They believed the same thing. They was getting on Tahar about the whole 12-year-old thing. And look at this nigga trying to get a 15-year-old. Because they believe the same thing. The old school taught the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yup.
15-year-old girl. I ain't even attracted to a 15-year-old girl.
The power of her age, like the scripture said. The woman, because she becomes a woman. And she can have children. She's getting the flower of her age, like when she had her, you know what I'm saying? So,
When that's not what that means, by the way.
but like a child, a woman, a girl at 12 does become a woman then, but also a boy also does also.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like an old 80-year-old man trying to get 12-year-olds. Like, you know what I mean? It could have been like, you know what I mean? 12-year-olds could be getting married. 15-year-olds could be getting married. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure it was like that. I'm pretty sure it was. Maybe. But who knows? But yeah, man, it's like, and they will just go at each other on that, and they all believe the same shit.
Damn.
Yep. Marrying.
Like I say, look. And let me say this. Y'all goes y'all and y'all Serapis worship. This what Jesus got y'all doing. Y'all think they think it's okay. It's okay. They flesh is weak. Ain't that what the New Testament say? Jesus died for y'all so y'all can do that. Y'all pulled a Karl Malone. Well, Karl Malone got a 13-year-old pregnant. He got a 13-year-old pregnant. Yeah, y'all didn't know that? Look that up. Yeah, they swept that under the rug quick.
Yeah, Karl Malone.
Quick. Karl Malone.
Damn.
On the phone with Karl Malone.
I guess they're gonna go get him next. They're gonna bring that shit back out.
People
be like, oh no, not Karl Malone. Yup.
The mailman, COD, cash on delivery.
Yeah, that is what they called him, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Shout on delivery.
Damn. Yeah, they had it, people. Shit. And y'all all know, all y'all people in y'all groups, I don't care if it's OT and UT. Y'all all see it. Y'all all see it in the group. And don't lie to yourself. Just don't lie to yourself. It's really happening. It's really
and always remember, I'm the devil.
What a great. Yeah, man, shit. Hey, man, y'all better wake up. I know y'all don't want to see it, but you see it. You know you see it. You know you see it.
Yep, and that's an old teaching, as he said, y'all. So, what you want to do, Killer B? You want to keep the live stream going, or we gonna close out?
Yeah, what's up? If y'all down for it, we keep going. How long we been up on this joint?
Since 11 o'clock.
Stay away from the white man. He the
That's
devil.
11 o'clock. Yeah, we'll jump off of here. What the Grizzlies you said?
I said, stay away from the white man. He wants your kids.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. Let me see what the chat was saying here. Yeah, we on here. Fucking cute. That damn long-winded brother. All right. We got Vocab Malone in the building. Shadow Hunter. Please, Shadow Hunter. Is that the real Shadow Hunter? Yeah. Yep. Anonymous Uprising. Slow to you. Who else we got in here? Tableau and Muhammad. You probably sleep. New Aaron King. Thanks for stopping by, bro. Yeah, I want to do that interview again with you. What else we got? Lex Luciferian. Chamian. That's about it. That missed everybody. But yeah, man, thanks for that. I have receipts on Negi abusing it. What? You lying. Vocab Malone says I have receipts on Negi abusing a fainting goat. Oh man, yeah, I want to see that one. I definitely want to see that one. Maybe I don't, but yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by tonight. And anybody got any last words? Willie Grip?
The white man's the devil.
There you go.
Let's close on that.
Yeah, close up. Yep, that's it. Lansgraves, Josh, that's it. We out.
Killer B, goddammit.
Yo, Killer B, goddammit. The zookeepers, goddamn, the zookeepers. We keep all the monkeys in line, goddamn. We keep all the monkeys in line.
All praise to God.
Burn them up, burn them up. Wish by the general, wish by the general. Like, share, subscribe.
Big cats be catch up brain. You and the slain.
Beast Chris Harris, Willie Grant, Muhammad, New Era King, Brother Headroom, Q,
Let's meditate.
They call it out.
Spinning in their brain. Hypnotized dead. Cake dead. Man says, fantasize about it. Oh, what an outing. Down low puppets, they be shouting. Mind control puppets when they Satan handler. They loosely be a Springfield chandelier. Campers beware, the wolves are out. They think they got you, but crying and pout. Drought in their brains like the desert of Sinai. Jeet Kudo style. I don't do it, the ledges fly. Seismic activity collapse your beach. Pagodas and wooden structures discovered underneath. Think about Tsunami Jimmy. Pluck the strings, label infinity. Disseminate judgment like icicles. The mind open up too late for tear trickle. Visual proof of your leader's folly. Playing more than Molly. It's a rocky road, waking up from abuse. Yet you can't change those who want to remain aloof. Even chant Baffy in they bid to distract me. Laughing in the heavens, attacking. Cats are full thinking Tharawat.
Sister Amber, holding on the chat.
Tharawat is within, as God is changing your heart. Mercy upon those who you put in the cart on the chart to purchase your mind. Who am I to argue with wisdom design? Freedom to write and recite. Turn the devil day and the night. Look how this word smite. Lift they face up right. Ate up by their own might. So interesting to the sight. It's a page turner. Demons branded with the J-in burner. When J-in, you out. It'll learn you. Scorn teachers run for the hills. Then the hills cough them up, no frills. I get chills thinking about your house sinking beneath. All because you became more Cain than beast. Or more beast than Cain. Where that beast call you by government name. Slain firstborns, even to my own self born. Bought the farm, the one that connives grown. Smoke y'all when the Roma enters zone. Niggas be walking with their downfall in their hands. She walk with you while you play in the sand. Claiming nothing but old man. Troubled life more than Gary Coleman. Damn. That's old. Let them coals light up into embers. Nebuchadnezzar destroy your temple so you can remember volumes of witnesses against you. High right holding more yoga positions than Hindu. It's the return of Vishnu to end you. Who use stones to tempt you. Who talk this up to a misused pimp move. Blade rip you. Whole time Josh remain blissful. Praise Yah for no dismissal. Use another dismissal to end. Let this fire quench you. Same way it quench you. Motto is simple. Wish death upon fam. Catch holy mental. Bombarded by shrapnel. Have doctor removed. Piece by piece with scalpel. Then when you rest, ninja come through and scalp you. All over tough talk. Vengeance is mine, says Yah. Hear the wings of the tomahawk. Hear the wings of the tomahawk.
Chop, chop.
Cats be yoked up with 2 rings. Hear them rings. Ring, 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 ring. Cats be thinking that. Yeah. I know. Yes, you never did that, right? You never came to your house for it, you know? All praises to your house. Yeah. For always being active, not stagnant, not confined in some box, some book. For being ever present. I mean, what do you expect? Yahweh is Yahweh. Our Yo, big ups to all those who stand against wickedness, who expose crookedness, who look and seek for righteousness from mature adults, right? Don't be mad when the tables turn, like Grandmaster Flash did. It's your brother Jock.
Shalom, y'all.